Yes. So cool. All right. All right. All right. One second. Let's see. So I.
There you go. Okay.
There it is. Okay, cool. I was beautiful. Okay, we got it.
Yeah. Perfect. Can you hear me well? Because I'm not using a headphones, but usually the mic is pretty sharp. So I just want to make sure that it's good.
Yeah, you sound like an angel. You sound great. Where are you? Where are you calling? Where are you right now, Zuzana?
So it's 11 p.m. London, UK.
Wow.
So good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Do you live in London?
Yeah, when I don't travel, I usually spend my time in London. I move often. I go back to Slovakia. I'm from Slovakia originally, so that's where my family is. But I do tend to hang around in London, also do some consulting work as a user experience designer. So I have two companies. One is for the consulting side, and then a new one which I want to talk to you about, because that's what I would love to learn how to bring up and build up. So I come from the creative field. I love designing, I love creating, and I am currently pushing myself out of comfort zone, learning how to actually create a business and put my thoughts down and start implementing things. So it's a completely new adventure for me. I love adventures, so it's all good.
So
but
good.
It's been a roller coaster, I must say. I prefer to climb mountains than.
Yeah. Well, you're smiling, so that's usually a good sign.
Oh yeah, no, I'm relentless. Like I'm just so happy to have this opportunity in life in general, because I'm like really persevering my dreams and what feels right to me. So I think it's a blessing. I'm really blessed in this sense. And all the exposure I had over the years, I'm a traveler, so I travel a lot around the world, and that taught me a lot, basically.
I love it. So Zuzana, we are live in the Facebook group. I was able to get it to work, thank goodness. And so let's kick things off. First off, say if you could share in the group, because people are going to be watching it now and they're going to be watching it later. It's a great opportunity to introduce yourself. So just say, your name, who you are, and what you've been up to, and then after that, what are we working on today specifically?
Excellent.
Okay.
So hi, everyone watching now or later on. So my name is Zuzana Dobrovolna, and I'm usually based, when I don't travel, in London in UK. I am originally from Slovakia, raised and born in Slovakia, in Eastern Europe. And what I'm doing, I have two businesses. So one is consulting. I'm a user experience designer working across different fields and startups. And another business, which why I am primarily into Coma Club coaching, is the outdoors travel brand that I'm learning how to build, and that is my primary focus, and that is going to be the focus of this session, really. So I design a waterproof dry bags, and that comes from my experience of being a traveler. So the story started when I went, so I quit my really good corp job quite a few years back, and I decided to travel around the world for 2 years on my own.
Love it.
Because that was my childhood dream, and I really wanted to, I was dying to fulfill it, basically, and I made it happen, and I've seen everything I wanted to see. I backpacked to Antarctica. there are ways you can get around and do things which are amazing. And that's basically that's really my really strong passion in the world, is traveling and exploring and then sharing those experiences. And while I was traveling, obviously, I slowly started to destroy all my gear as it happens, and I started to learn a lot about it. And when I came back to London, I was actually really thinking about writing a letter or shooting a video for the company who actually designed one of those bags. And I was like, hold on a second, I'm not sure I want to give them all of this information. And then I started to think about, like, no, I really want to design it. Like, actually, I'd love to design my own dry bag, my own stuff that will serve my own, like problems, really. Like, I just scratch my own, itches, they say. And that's how it all started, basically. So the session is about, let's see. Where do we start? So basically, I don't know, David, how much you managed to read from the submission, or you probably didn't because you are super busy, obviously.
Yeah, so I have your form filled out. I'm looking at it. So if you see me looking around, it's I just have another monitor to look at your survey.
Yes, same for me. So like, I am looking probably at the primary monitor when I share the screen. So I'm looking this way, so I'm not ignoring you.
Yeah. So just for great. So just some clarifying questions. You have a corporate background, decided to leave it, set off on adventure, traveled for a long time, had your own personal problem with some of the gear, and decided to solve it yourself for your own needs, and now sharing it. So if I understand correctly, is this bag, this physical product done? Is it completed? Do you have something to sell, or it's still being workshopped out? Okay.
So what I've done a couple of years back is I just followed a very simple model of testing my assumptions. So I created my designs. So I have now 4 different products. They are all related, and I tested them in America and Amazon because I know that's the biggest market. So what I did, I just threw it in basically on Amazon if it actually picks up sales. So I done my homework on selling on Amazon. I have not focused on really building the brand on Amazon as many people would suggest or do. I just really wanted to validate the idea. Is this just my fantasy, or is it actually serving people and people are buying it? And I'm not doing anything with Amazon right now, but I do sell 1 or 2 bags per day usually. And I'm not pushing PPC. I'm not pumping stuff in. So I know I know the designs. I know they're really well. Like they like I would not throw anything out that is just mediocre and just doesn't work. It's just I'm not the type of person. So I know what I know the quality. However, that's all features, and I can dream about the quality, but that doesn't help to get that message across. So I done my validation. Yes, products are there. Maybe let me share my screen. Maybe let's start there. And just a quick caveat. A couple of hours back, I had a problem with my Wi-Fi and internet, so completely out of my reach. So if I drop off, I will try to at least hop on back on a mobile. Just saying.
Okay, so I won't take it personally. This guy's boring. I'm out of here.
No. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Question. Okay, sweet. So what I've done quickly, a couple of years back, so I'm with ClickFunnels probably 2 years-ish, know about the community 3 years. I'm the 2nd year member of the coaching group. Mm-hmm. And what I've done quickly, I just put out this website, which is all done in ClickFunnels, just to have a placeholder for the brand, but I have not created any funnels directly from this one. So these are the 4 products, and I need to improve the images and everything. I'm very aware of that, but these are actually all 4 products basically that I have. And there is a 5th one, but that's just a strap, so I don't even have it in here. but basically I started to craft like what it actually looks for the company, and I'd love to build up the brand. And I realized that for me, so I done a lot of internal work with myself, what it actually means, what I really want, what is that message, what is it that I would like to really build. And I realized that the products are just part of it. So it's just it's almost like a byproduct, if that helps. But for me, it's not just about selling products and and that's it. I realized that for me, it's so much more about the travel. So what I would love to do really is to focus on my primary, let's say, ideal customer. Yep. And I know who they are. And I know these struggles. And also I realized that that is a long-term strategy, because they are problem aware, and also they might be unaware completely. So it's a harder one, right? For me, where I know that, for example, my secondary customers or secondary personas, right? They are problem aware, they are solution aware. So I'm talking now about people that actually use DriveX. That could be kayakers, canoeists, anything to do with water sports. So the origins of the DriveX are coming actually from kayakers, from the water sports. Also, people buy it, like the customers that I know that bought it, let's say on Amazon, they bought it for fishing, some of them for hunting. Some of them even for army training. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. So I know they know about the product basically, but that's kind of that's my red ocean, I could call it, right? They still can be a traveler, right? But ultimately, I'd love to really tap into that traveling side of the people. So I can tell you a little bit more about a persona, if that helps. I don't know, sure, ask questions. I don't know,
for sure. So what's the big outcome of this call, though? Like, what do you want to leave with? So you haven't, if I understand correctly, you haven't ran traffic to an offer yet, or to a funnel.
So yeah, thank you for asking that. So last year I have created an unboxing funnel for ultralight dry sacks for this one, and this is the last version I have. So I've done several versions of this to try to test what would work. And I ran a traffic to this offer last year, and I didn't convert on that. And I think the combination or the problem could be several, that I was most probably talking to the audience, but with the wrong messaging. So I tried to figure out what was the problem, basically, and I didn't get any conversion, any sales on that. And I ran a lot of traffic, and I changed quite a lot. Not quite a lot, but I tried to see and change the headlines. I had a really nice session with Jim Edwards, and we were talking about the headlines. So I tried to swap them around. But I think there are several factors that just didn't work. What I've done also is so this is like a Facebook ad directly to a funnel for a sales. What I realized is that I think there was a huge disconnect between the actual Facebook ad and the funnel. So I actually couldn't figure it out, and then I actually put the Hotjar on top of it, so I could actually see what people are doing.
Yep.
And what I realized is that when people tapped on the video, the Facebook video was on so I'm primarily targeting a mobile audience. So it's optimized for mobile. And when people tapped on the video, the Facebook video would still be playing on the top. And let's say, headline of this funnel with a little bit of image would load underneath. So they would still be watching the video, but then they would maybe just like a slide and just quickly check, and then they would drop off. And Facebook obviously was registering that as a landing view page, and so on and so on, So that transition was not there. And what I definitely realize is that I have not done any lead generation properly. So it's almost like talking to a cold audience that don't know the brand. They know the product, they know what it is, but they don't know, the brand, and they have most probably the strong affinity towards their own preferred brand and whatever that is they're already using. And basically, this is what I've done in the past. And what I would love to do really is to talk to you. So what I want to get out of this call is obviously to tell you a little bit of the history, what I've done. And what I really want to do is to talk about the lead generation funnel that I'm preparing. So I created a lead generation quiz.
Okay.
Which is targeting and which is tailored towards my primary audience, which is all about the traveling and travelers. And I would love to see if there is any way I can bridge that quiz possibly into this funnel. And I haven't changed anything on this funnel. I haven't touched it before. I actually wanted to. I just want to speak to you to get some direction, and then I'm gonna be then changing basically. But it's basically lead generation quiz funnel experience, and then on a thank you page, is there a way how I can bridge it into this funnel to carry on, or I can just follow up with the email sequencing and bridge it that way. So all I really, I'm assuming, okay, is that I definitely need to work towards the lead generation. So that's what I've ignored blissfully last year, and I'm so guilty of it that it's true. I acknowledge it. So I didn't do my homework to create, know, like, and trust factors basically in the past. And this is my homework right now. This is what I need to do all over basically.
Sweet. Okay. Because you're very easy to know, like, and trust. So definitely take advantage of that. Are you if I watch this video on this landing page, will I see you on the video?
No. So I outsource to create more of a lifestyle videos for this product.
Yep.
What I have done, however, is, for example, this is the sales funnel. So what I've done in here, let's see actually if it opens, is that I did. So if someone comes to this funnel, they can come to About Us. And what I did in here is inserted the origin story of this product, how it was created. And this is the origin story basically of the product. This is all true story how it all created. It was quite one day when I'll see you, I'll tell you about my adventures in Kyrgyzstan.
But that's the thing, though. I want to know about your adventures in Kyrgyzstan. Like that is the thing, how you're going to get leads and how you're going to connect with somebody. The fact that, by the way, just to get confirmation on this, you invented this product or you private labeled it? Like, did this product already exist and you put your logo on it, or did you make some changes to the current design? This
is my design. So so the way they are designed and everything, the sizes and the colors and everything, that this is all custom.
Okay, so for someone like myself, like who makes my own stuff, like, I know how challenging that is and how impressive that is that you've been able to. So I'm just giving you a quick applaudable. You get it. Stand up, baby. Stand up. Because what you've been able to already accomplish is significant, and I don't think you're then leveraging it. I would be loud and proud saying,
like,
look,
it's so frustrating.
I left a corporate job to travel the world, and it was amazing, except the thing that kind of sucked was I outlasted the trip more than my equipment did. And this equipment's big fancy equipment made by big fancy companies. And here, it took someone like me, who's actually an inventor, to fix it or to change it or whatever. And so I invented this thing. I never in my wildest dreams that I think I'd be the inventor of the world's most cutting edge, most secure, most accessible, waterproof travel brand bags, whatever. But here we are today, and it's all started with this blob. See, like, I want to know that That's super intriguing. And I would throw stones at the knockoffs. I would throw stones out of people that are just buying stuff on China, putting a sticker on it and calling it their own. If that's not you, I'd then throw stones at all those people.
I know
even if
that's
those
not
people are
me,
inside this group.
so many bad examples, and it drives me mad because they actually can really ruin people's gear, and
Yes,
it's not cool. Not cool.
No,
unacceptable.
But you see how you're talking right now, like that to me, and I didn't look at your landing page, but it looked enough to look like it doesn't represent your personality and your authenticity. And so that landing page is good when you don't have all that, but you have all that. So to leverage all that would make sense to me. So I didn't even watch this video yet, but I guarantee you having a video like that will outperform having stock footage video that everybody else has, because it's going to, remember, we want to be prolific here. We want to be an attractive character, and you already have the story built in. Yes. Sorry. What were you going to say?
No. Well, on that note, I had that as a first version of this funnel.
Awesome.
So, and I swapped it around just to test, okay, this is not working. So I said, okay, let's do it a little bit more like an e-com style, right?
Okay. Yep.
So I've done that. So I swapped the things around. So the first version ever was, everything is backed up. I don't remember if it was this one, but let me try. Yeah, this was the first version. This was the first version ever.
Okay. And how much traffic did you run to this?
We can have a look at the stats. I would say quite a lot. So.
And nobody bought. You didn't make one sale, or you made some?
No.
Okay. So now we have. Okay. Cool. So let's go to the stats on this.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I just need to remember which step is this. Orienty unboxing landing. Okay. So.
And the other thing is, well, a few things. One, you might be able to get traffic without spending money on Facebook and stuff. There must be tons of interest groups. There must be tons of Facebook travel groups, fishermen groups, anything that involves water, that you could start going in on, joining those Facebook groups and just start listening and, participating. And then you don't have to say it's you could do it a couple ways. You could say, hey, I might be partial. Like if there's a conversation in a Facebook news thread, like back in the day, this was like 10 years ago, like there used to be forums that were really big, and one way would just participate in the forum. Like just don't go in and spam, but if you're already on the forum and, answer a few questions, there's nothing wrong with just saying like, hey, if you see a post where someone's talking about, waterproofing their gear, you could say, listen, I might be impartial because I invented the product, but the reason why I invented it was because there was no known solution out there. And so I had to come up with my own solution, and just dropping those in different Facebook groups. Because I don't know if I'm going to tell you, like I like to travel. I like things that are waterproof, but I don't necessarily know if I get hit with a Facebook ad, maybe my trip isn't until 6 months from now. I might not be thinking about that. If fishing though, people might be going fishing all the time. So I'd creatively workshop who else could use these products, even though for you it was intended for travel. And I understand that maybe travel means freedom. Maybe it just means, maybe it's whatever. But we might need to, by the way, that's one angle. And if you do want to serve travelers, so then maybe, like you were saying, maybe it's more of getting a lead with a different premise, right? Hi, I'm Zuzana. I've traveled for 2 years. And Zuzana, is it fair to say, I don't want to guess your exact age, but are you somewhere in between 25 and 85? I'm just making a huge broad thing, right? Fair to say that, right?
I love it.
But the reason why I'm saying that is because my guess is that, again, if we start doing blue ocean for you, possibly you could speak to a traveler who is traveling maybe like there's usually 2 big points of travel that I've noticed on myself and my friends. One is right after college, before your first grown-up job, right, after uni or something,
Yeah.
and the other is after in a career transition. Maybe you left your job or
Is the
midlife.
second target that you said. So
Now
it's
we're getting somewhere. Yep. Now we're getting somewhere.
I have a very simplified way
Oh,
to
cool.
show.
So let's look at this. Awesome. Very cool. You have it there. But
This is very simplified.
Look
Maybe
at that, 2550. Love it. Yep. And so, okay, so now we know and I'll keep this up, but just for time, because we don't have too much time. If you led with, I'm Zuzana, traveling is always scary, but especially when you're no longer a teenager and you are in career transitions or life transitions or something like that. And so I've been doing it. I did it for 2 years. I left my corporate job and I went on a 2-year world adventure. And if you are thinking, or if you have a trip coming up, or you're thinking, if you ever thought about what it might be like, because we want to also sell to potential people that might not be traveling yet, but what it might be like in dream.
Uh-huh.
I made a 7-step guide, 7 ways to save, or 7 things I wish someone told me before I traveled the world for 2 years, something like that. And then, so this way they're coming in on a broader premise versus this is a waterproof bag for traveling, which is so blue ocean that it might be harder to, even though, does that make sense? So you're casting a wider net, getting them in on freedom, and that, and then you say, as a bonus, you're also going to get my top 5 essential pieces of gear or whatever it is you can't leave home with before on your next trip. So, okay, this is sneaky though. Hear me out. You could, if you just want to be lazy about it, you could just do a lead magnet called the 5 essential pieces of gear every traveler in their 30s must have, or something like that, or whatever. Right? We're calling out your market, but I would step that, and I wouldn't. I think a better way though is, instead of like the 5 pieces of gear, that's like the afterthought, and you say, something more compelling, not just my gear list, but what I was saying, like what lessons learned, or the 1 or the 3 things you need, or something like that. Or it's more of like, I'm going to stick to it. 7 things or 5 things or 13 things or whatever I wish I knew. I wish someone told me before I quit my job or left or fired my boss, whatever, and went on a 2-year adventure around the world. And then as a free bonus, they also get, even though everything's free, right? This way you stack it. But then this way it's, I don't know, in my mind, it then seems more objective. And then the 5, 10, whatever it is, you're naming other pieces of equipment that you like, but part of that are your products as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then it's more subtle. You don't make a big deal about it. It's just, you even say, when you write a little blurb about it, saying like, I might be partial to this one because I created my own. It's my own product. Like I actually was so frustrated with trying to find a solution to waterproofing things that I ended up inventing my own thing. And you could grab yours here, something like that. Then in retargeting ads, in follow-up emails, then you could get more specific and then say, hey, did you get a chance to look at my top 10 must-have gears guide? If you haven't, go ahead, check it now. I think you'll really like number 3, number 6, and number 9, LOL. And then in the next email, hey, not sure if you saw this yet, but if you read my guide, I'm sure you're pretty surprised to see that I actually invented 3 of those products on there. And yes, I'm partial, but so are the hundreds of other people or thousands of other people that also got them, because they actually work. For a limited time, you could get yours for 30% off. Now, even though they could always, on that landing page, it's going to say 30% off the whole time. So if they get there before you, but does that make sense? It's more like more discovery. And then as So it's kind of like, you know, you have a funnel, but you have this whole like customer journey, which is a funnel too. And so the beginning of the customer journey, you're out here really wide, freedom, sharing injecting yourself as the attractive character right from the get-go, because people are going to resonate with you and your story before they're going to resonate with the product. Again, on Google AdWords, you could do Google AdWords and or YouTube even, you could do bidding on specific search terms. So if somebody's typing in waterproof bag, that would be amazing, right? To do a YouTube pre-roll video. Hey, you know, before you start researching, bags, let me tell you about this thing, because I'm going to save you 3 hours of research because they all suck. You know, that's what I did. I was just like you 5 years ago, looking at YouTube, trying to find the best waterproof bag. And I ended up getting wet and wasting 5 hours of my life. So I ended up creating one right here. If you want it, I'm going to save you 5 hours of your life, and you're going to have a dryer, you know, something like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Because then it's more of a search traffic. Whereas on Facebook, I think the people are going to fall in love with you quicker than falling in love with the product, because Facebook is more interest-based, it's more custom audience-based versus search term-based. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's why you are selling some on Amazon, because people are typing it in. But the challenge is that on Amazon, you're a commodity, because you don't get that opportunity to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, a big commodity in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we could go. I could offer feedback on the funnel you had up before, and if you want, I could go through it, but that's not really the. I don't think that's the opportunity. Even if we were able to change that funnel, so you had like 10 reviews, it'd be stronger if you had like 300 reviews or something like that. You know,
yeah.
like things like that. But again, yeah, I know. Right? But the main thing though is get them to. And by the way, I think all we needed to do on this call was for you to get affirmation and confirmation that you're on the right track. Bringing you yourself, Zuzana, on the top of the funnel, so people know, like, and trust, and get to listen to your story, is, in my opinion, the best way to go about it, because they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna fall in love with you first before they fall in love with your product. The other thing though is, what are other uses for your stuff? By the way, let's go back to. Actually, hold for 1 second. The other thing is, I saw your products. Your products do, I'm not saying you should do this, but you could do this. They seem to lend naturally to a low-end offer, whether it's free plus shipping or $10 plus free shipping, because it looks like you're offering a 3-pack for $48. So it's possible you could offer a 1-pack. It's possible that you have like a smaller item, like the wallet thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something?
There is one of there is one potential one that could be the good one for free plus shipping.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's sexy enough, but maybe that's just my head. It's this one could be it's a simple product.
Yep.
And it's a waterproof, triple seal pouch, and a lot of swimmers that go outdoors into the ocean swim, they take them to just stuff their stuff like a keys and stuff. They're super useful.
Absolutely.
So it's a small entry, it's a small entry barrier product that could be a possible free plus shipping.
Yep, you could offer that as free plus shipping. You could. How much does it cost you to make that product, if you don't mind? Could you do a free plus shipping if you didn't have?
I could, yeah, with this one, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so and I'll talk more about this as time goes on, my redemption funnels strategy, but this would be a great redemption funnels offer. So basically, you'd partner up with, why not? Let's just go big, right? And so there's a Dream 100 play here. Let's say you partner up with Lonely Planet. Okay. Now, Lonely Planet or Frommers, right? Let's say they're your top 5 in the Dream 100. But below that there's got to be thousands of travel bloggers that have a massive following. So if it's not Lonely Planet, so then it's Jimmy Travels the World or something, right? But the idea is to find that sweet spot. And if they're selling their own online travel guide, or maybe they're selling their own online course,
Okay.
then you just approach them and say, listen, how would you like to increase your conversion rate on your sales page by 20% without doing anything on your end, and giving your customers even more value that you don't pay a dime for? Of course, we're going to say yes. And so what you do is you just offer, if they have a decent sales page, right, they're going to be like, okay, you're going to get the 10 things to do in Disney World, right? Let's say you approach a mommy blogger that has a massive Disney following, right?
Yeah.
And she's selling Disney secrets for $27, and it's an ebook, and it comes with also a cheat sheet and some other ways to negotiate a better hotel stay at Disney, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you split test that page, and in addition, there's another bonus, an additional bonus on that page, and it says we're also going to be sending you out a triple seal pouch so that you could store all your important family documents and not have to worry when you go down Splash Mountain, any of it getting wet. We worked out a partnership with Super Singularity, and they're going to be giving away up to 100 of these things. If you see this, it means the offer is still available for you. Just and you can redeem it for a free thing. Just cover shipping and handling. And what happens is that when they buy the Disney secrets, on that thank you page is going to say, great, go here to download Disney secrets, and go here, which is the URL, to claim your free triple seal pouch. That sends them into your redemption funnel.
Yeah.
Which is a free plus shipping offer, but in their mind, it's not free. It was $30 that they got included buying Disney secrets, so they're more motivated to buy it because in their world it's not buying it, they're claiming it, right?
That's why it's called redemption funnel.
That's why it's called redemption, exactly. And they pay for the shipping because that's a good deal. That you Disney secrets lady and you already work together to cover the cost of the triple seal pouch. They just have to pay the $7.95 shipping, and then all of a sudden, off to the races, right? Order bump, add a second one for only $7.95. Upsell, well, now that your documents are dry, what about your sweatpants? What about your food? What about the other items? And then you could upsell them on the ultralight sack or the bag or the day pack. And so that would lend really well for you because travel in that way is massive. And I don't know if you need to be running ads as your primary way to do it if you're doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it the way before that we were just talking about, where you're putting yourself out there and sharing your story, and the call to action isn't to buy something, it's to download something. The 7 things I wish someone told me before I fired my corporate boss and traveled the world for 2 years. Warning. If you're even thinking about taking a trip between now and the next 5 years, be sure to read this report. As an added bonus, I'm also going to include my 19 items I can travel without, all of these blah blah, or whatever it is, and that's how we Trojan horse this stuff. Second idea is a redemption funnel play. Third idea we talked about, I'm just recapping because we have to get off Austin's waiting. So I'm just recapping now. Third idea is to do product leading, right? But do it on search-based marketplaces like YouTube, like Google, because we have a proof that on Amazon your product does sell. Doesn't sell a ton, but it's still selling because people are actually typing in they want a waterproof day pack or whatever the heck it is. And so leverage that, and could do Amazon PPC. That's a whole nother ball, but if you, that's what I'm saying. And then the last thing is find influencers that are currently traveling right now or will be traveling or are known travelers. Give them a free pack and let them do all the heavy lifting for you. So let them travel with one of these things, and the deal would be like, look, I want to send you this stuff as a fellow traveler. I know how much you're absolutely going to love it, and so here it is. If you like it, for us to become a strategic partnership, we'll promote it together. And if you don't don't respond because I don't want my feelings hurt because I put 2 years in development and I know it's the absolute best. And if you don't, then, you know, go to heck. No, I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? But the idea would be leveraging people who are already traveling right now, because then you'll also get incredible pictures of your product in different real life situations. And I think long game, that's going to help sell it's incredible assets with a selfie in every like touristy location. And so the best way, in my opinion, to do that for 2 to 1 is find influencers who could do both, take the picture for you, but also promote with you.
All right. I hear
All
you.
right.
Okay.
Zuzana, I love you. Have a beautiful night. Get to sleep. And let me know how it goes. But that was like 4 or 5 things that you could take action on, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. See ya.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
My pleasure. All right, guys, we are moving right along, bringing up Austin, the Challenger Ford. Look, it's a 3-way, guys. Oh, she just took off. Okay. What's up, man? In 3,
all right,
2,
here.
There it is. Yep.
Yo,
right.
what's up? What's up?
All right, dude. All right, so I know a little bit. Congratulations on getting you an applaudable, because I know that you launched. You launched. I know, because I'm seeing people talk about it. So
yes, I did.
So let's go, baby. Also, he's in the group. He's in Inner Circle, but he's also in 2CC. Reach out to Toby Shell. Toby is a dear friend of mine, an incredible marketer, and even more incredible person. And he is toying with the idea of doing the challenge. And I was like, dude, you got to hit up Austin Ford.
All right, cool. I'll hit him up. Toby Shell.
Toby Shell.
Toby Shell. All right.
Toby Shell, baby.
All right, man. So I need some headline help. Help. So I already launched my thing. It's done. Now I'm getting Jessica Wallman to help me with my ads, and she is. I'm hesitant. I don't want to run ads directly to my challenge. And I've been hearing some birds talk about it, saying that you can't really use the word challenge in Facebook ads anyways, because they've been kind of pushing that down. Also, you know, that is more of a solution or product aware, and I need to get them the solution aware first, right? You see where I'm going with this? So,
Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, one of the angles that I'm thinking about is for people that are running webinars, and they have a problem, and they know what that problem is. They're not getting people to show up their webinar, and they're not making good sales, more conversions, right? Yep. So my thing is I want to create some kind of lead magnets, leading those people in, get them answer their problems with the solution, which is running a challenge, right? And getting people in, and then doing the webinar on the tail end of the challenge. And then my product, I want to get them product aware by saying, hey, I got this boot camp that you can join and do X, Y, and Z in 14 days. So I want to come on here and use you to help me. I'm going to use you and abuse you to help me make up these headlines, so I can come up with some different. I just need lead funnels. That's what I'm asking for. I need to come up with some lead funnels so I can keep my cost per acquisition low.
Okay, can I challenge the challenge?
Yes.
Okay, so so Facebook doesn't like you running an ad with a call to action, like sign up for my challenge, right?
Yes.
So that's let's say that's over here. I'm trying to get a frame, okay? And then what I believe I just heard was, so then the alternative way to do it is lead acquisition, where you're offering a download report or something like that.
I'm going to be doing a video.
Going to be doing a video.
Each and every single one of these things. I was thinking about doing something like Myron Goldman was talking about when he was talking about his cultivating lead magnets, and he usually does. He has like the X amount of big mistakes, and then the person, makes when trying to solve X, right? And that's how he creates his lead magazines. Basically a video on the next page, and then after the video, it's links to sell his event.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's what I thought you were going to like retarget. I would do everything in one stream. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. So get them. I need them to opt in.
Yep.
Get them. Give them some inspiration on what they can do with challenges, and then it's going to be like step 1, watch this video, and then step 2, right below the video, is going to say join Challenge Creation Bootcamp. So I'm avoiding the entire thing with sending people directly to the challenge from Facebook, and I'm avoiding using the name challenge and everything.
Gotcha. So you're going to get like a bridge page.
A bridge page, exactly.
Awesome. Cool.
It's basically a self-liquidating offer. That's what I'm turning it into.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And are the ads going to be video?
I haven't thought about it. I don't know. I'll try whatever.
Okay.
I know the content after they opt in will be a video of me telling them the 7 mistakes and then saying, hey, you want to solve all these mistakes or 5 mistakes, whatever I decide to make it. You want to solve this issue. Mm-hmm. You should join. I'm going to tell them how they can solve the issue with a challenge. And then I'm going to say, hey, did you know we have a boot camp for that? And then get them in over there.
Love it. Okay. So I got a little fun thing for you on that. If you want to play along. But first, shout outs. What's up, Seth? What's up? Hey, Jessica Ford's watching. What do you know? That's awesome.
She's in the house. I don't know why she's watching. She can hear
What's up, Tracy? What's up, Aaron? What's up, Liz? What's up, Samantha?
What's up, Tracy?
Hassan, Johnny Blake in the house. Michelle Pesco Solido. Awesome. Okay, so this is something you could try because I've noticed. By the way, try it however you want. But if the opt-in percentage and your cost per opt-in is too high, you could open loop them so that if it's the 5 things, the 5 mistakes.
So right now I got.
By the way, shout out to Myron Golden. That's a great formula.
Like for right now I have 5 biggest mistakes coaches make when trying to sell their webinar.
Cool.
I don't feel it's super sexy though right now.
It's not, but we'll get it there.
All right.
So a few things. Few things, because you are marketing to marketers, right? Like there is this thing that I've been noticing on Facebook lately, where it's calling yourself out. So because the marketplace is getting so saturated, right? It would be like, let me give you an example. It'd be like if I had a car in my image, but it was like, I drive like a Subaru Outback, right? So imagine like me like sprawling on my Subaru or something like that. And then it's like, sorry, like my Photoshop guy wasn't around today to insert the Ferrari. So, my family vehicle has to do ... Something like that. So by the way, so if your title was, what was your title right now?
I said 5 biggest mistakes coaches make when trying to sell their webinar.
Yeah. So guys, here are the 5 biggest mistakes coaches make while trying to sell their webinar. I know it's not a super sexy title. I don't have the word secrets in it. I don't have 10X in it, but bear with me. I'm kind of a new marketer here. You see how that also, the self-deprecation, the calling it out.
Yeah.
So if you're going to test creative, dude, like if you're hungry and you got the bandwidth to test a bunch of stuff, like calling it out, I've seen like me personally, I'm a pretty self-deprecating guy, and I like to have fun with things, and I've also been seeing it. Like I've been seeing people write Facebook posts calling it out, and getting really good engagement and good response because people see that type of stuff, right? So that could be interesting. Okay, so that's one like a
scroll stopper, me laying down on top of my wife's truck or something.
Yeah, like anything to grab attention, but then call it out. Be like, like, hey, so I'm wearing this crazy crown for 2 reasons. One, or you could say something like I used to do like this type of stuff. It's like, hey, I'm wearing this crazy crown for one of 2 reasons. I have a fetish for gold on my cranium, and to grab your attention. And one of those 2 things I made up. So you know what I'm saying? So say something outlandish, something like true but calling it out to grab attention because and one of those two things. By the way, you could use that. You get my blessing. I don't need a licensing fee or a shout out to that. I just hope that it crushes for you. But that's a kind of a. I'm sharing all my. See, people think I'm so in the moment and off the cuff, and I am, but I've just living life for so long. I tend to recycle things, so that's a great thing.
I like it.
The second thing that you could try is, I'm assuming your call to action would be, so if you want those 5 things, click here and we'll go over in a second. I'll see you on the inside, something like that, right? Okay. What you could do instead, or to test that, is say, again, this is, and then you could call this out too. So I'll give you the first version, and then I'll give you the second version, keeping with that initial theme of calling things out. And I feel like you're catching on, so I'm just going to keep going.
I think I'm catching on. I can see how I can do something weird, which I'm pretty weird anyways, and being out there in front of Facebook and then driving them in and being like, hey, sorry if you were expecting this to be a webinar opt-in page. It's not, but I'm going to show you real quick how you can get more opt-ins or get more people to buy your high-end product on your webinar. And these are the things, right? And
So the big idea principle is
I'm calling everything out.
Calling it out, just calling it out in the open. So it's just out in the open. Yes, right. Exactly. Okay. Then the second big idea I have for you is, if you're going to get 5 things, give them 3 things on the actual ad itself, and then open loop them. So, hey guys, it's Austin Ford. You may be wondering why I'm wearing a ridiculously gold shiny crown. It is because I have a fetish. We'll come with some of that. It's because
I got a gold fetish.
Yeah, you could say, like, I don't know, my parents never gave me Burger King when I was a kid, and I'm playing catch up.
There you go. I like that.
And to grab your attention on a overcrowded, oversaturated Facebook ad newsfeed. Yep. And one of those 2 things I made up. So, so you got attention there. So here are the, listen, if you caught the marketing train and are doing webinars and doing groups and doing all this stuff, and wondering why it's not working as well or at all for some of you guys, you're in the right place. I'm going to be sharing, like, I felt this way too until I discovered the 5 blah, blah, blah. Or you could say, I set out to interview, to ask, to ask every successful entrepreneur I knew what were their mistakes. And I also asked all the unsuccessful entrepreneurs I know what they're currently doing. So I know not to do that. Whatever it is, you got to give some reason of why these 5s are good. So either you're now super successful and these are the 5 things that you've learned, or a combination of that, or you've been working with all these people and no matter whether, and then this is kind of cool too, because you can call your audience, I've worked with, or I've interviewed, or whatever, contributed with or communicated with anybody from agent. And then this is great because this is also you calling out the viewer in a really cool way, right? Hear me out. So I interviewed, people from, whether they're in the fitness industry, whether you're selling e-commerce stuff, whether you're coaching, and whether you're a personal brand, they all had 5 things in common.
There you go.
When something didn't work, when it wasn't working, there was always 5 things. There was a similar, does that make sense? Now all of a sudden you have a story, right? And so blah, blah, blah. So would you guys like to hear it? Great. Here we go. Like, I don't want to waste time. I know that your attention is the most, whatever. What was it? Expensive thing, whatever. I don't know. But basically, I would get into the value right there on the ad itself.
Okay.
And say, so here are the 5 things. Number 1 or number 5, count it down the other way, little VH1 style when they say the top. So number 5, blah, blah, blah. Number 4, blah, blah, blah. Number 3, blah, blah, blah. So now, number 2 and 1 are so controversial that I don't want this ad. And yes, guys, it's an ad. I'm actually paying to get this information to you.
There you go again, calling it out.
Calling it out, that it's so controversial, I don't want Facebook to shut me down. And so I have it waiting for you on the inside if you go to the next page. And yes, you are going to have to enter your email address, because this way it ensures that Facebook doesn't see it, and I have an opportunity to market you later on, and one of those two things may not be, I might be making up. See, callback, right? And this way you open loop somebody, but you also lead, you also show them value. You also give them some things. Now make sure 5, 4, and 3 are fireman.
Yeah.
And do it that way, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Like I remember growing up, man, top 40, Casey Kasem. I'm dating myself, but you have no idea who Casey Kasem is. Does anybody watching this, whether it's live or the replay, please let me know if you know who Casey Kasem is. For the love of my age, my goodness. But they'd always count it down from 40 to 1, right?
Yep.
And that anticipation just kept building and building and building. And I would even get to the point where make your best 1, not 1, make it 3. If you are going to give out 5, 4, 3 on the ad, then make 3 the absolute best one, so that they're like, oh my gosh, dude, like if that's 3, I gotta know. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I feel like we're good, dude. I feel like, dude, can I get an applaudable for that?
Yep, that was a good one.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel like that open loop is really like epic and strong. It's like, how can I get in that loop? Loop.
Yeah. So it's test it both ways. Test a straight up ad saying, here are the 5 things. Enter your email address and you're gonna get them. But as this industry continues to mature, because like when I started this like 14, 15 years ago, it was a very different landscape. Very, very different landscape.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is the thing too, because we're now in it and we're so like in this community, we think that there's no more runway or of opportunity, and it's still massive. Like we go outside this community, most of my friends who are like doing very, very well for themselves in their career path that they stayed on, still have no idea about this. Like I talked to a buddy of mine who does private equity, and like I'm showing him the stuff that we're doing, and he's just starting, like his company's just starting to like look at the online space as a real asset, like funnels and marketing and systems and upsells and stuff like that. Like, and these guys are like billion-dollar funds that are supposed to have like the most cutting edge research and development, and they're still so far behind us. So I'm giving ourselves grace, but at the same time, chances are people have seen ads like this before in marketing to marketers. And so calling it out and giving more value up front. I know it's an open loop, so it's super cool like that, but it's actually you just giving more value up front, proving yourself, you're earning.
Plus I can retarget based on that % watch too.
Yeah, and then do all the retargeting. And then, dude, if you want to take it a step further, I've never done this because I stopped selling. Russell bought me, bought my time, which is awesome because now I don't have to do all the other 19 other opportunities I was going to pursue. So it's great. And so I never had an opportunity because I shut down all my. I still have my physical product businesses and the 3PL stuff, but in terms of like coaching courses, I shut them all down. So I never had an opportunity to do this, but this was like 2 years ago. I always thought it'd be cool to do a video, right? With no call. And I know like Frank Kern's doing this and some other people are doing this, but I don't think they're even calling it out the way I was going to do it. Pretty much do a video and then be like, cool. So listen, so if you like what you just saw, I'm going to send you something else, and don't worry, because if you're watching this video right now, it means that we just passed the 75% mark of this video, and I'm going to be retargeting you. So you'll be seeing another ad from me in sometime in the next day or two, and letting those people know what's about to happen. Marketers, pickup artists, and hypnotherapists are the 3 industries that actually enjoy being like seeing the magic trick and liking it then even more, right?
Yeah.
Like on kombucha, if I'm like, hey, congratulations, you just bought this like tea kit, and then you bought more because on that last page I had this thing where you just had to click this button one time and we charge you, and this way you didn't have to go back. It's called a one-click upsell. Like people are going to be pissed. But if I do that to marketers, you're gonna be like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I bought that thing because I did the one click. And like, we want to know about that stuff.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. It would be fun. And this way you could say you're the first one to do it, of saying like, hey, saying like, hey, and if you watch this far of the video, congratulations, because you just passed the 75% mark. And I don't know if you know this, but in Facebook, you can retarget based on video watches. So be out on a video for me tomorrow. Something like that. Really,
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. And if you don't do that, at the very least, you could, on your retargeting video, you could say, what's up, guys? If you're watching this video right now, it means that you watched at least 50% of the previous video, because a little fun fact about me, you know, I, in addition of, I guess you can't, oh, let me ask you, on the retargeting, are you allowed to talk about challenges?
I assume if it's a video and it's not written, Facebook can't really catch it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't know either, but no. Check with that, because it would make sense on the retargeting ads, especially if they opted in to be more aggressive and direct, saying like, "Hey, the next challenge is coming up in 5 days. You're either in or you're out," and just being more like, you know, Parks talks about this, that like once somebody is familiar with what you are and you made the offer, to be a little bit more aggressive, right, with the follow-ups.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you might not want to lose that part. I love the idea that you're leading not with the challenge and getting them in.
Yeah,
dude, I feel like we got a lot done in 10 minutes. That's awesome. Okay, let's keep going. But what else?
I feel like this is going to make it a lot easier too, because I'm wearing the crown. They're going to see that right on Facebook, and it's just going to be like, oh, I remember that guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this was the next video he was talking about.
Yep.
So it's going to make that retargeting much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about?
Dang, yo, Austin, if you want to call, so nothing's off limits. Again, this is play. This is like separate successful. I can't talk about everybody else, but for myself, like if you're enjoying it, you're gonna have fun with it, then there's no out of bounds. So
let's just lay that aside. I'm gonna.
So the fact that you just said that, I don't think you understand how much gold that is. Hey guys, Austin here. You may be wondering why I'm wearing a big shiny gold crown. Well, it's because this, and also when you see me again through a retargeting video, you'll also know right away it's me.
It's me. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Call that out too, man. Like the more things you call out, because then you're gonna get
nothing like, because I get what you're saying. People have this mentality now, especially marketers, because they know what's coming next. They know if they jump on a webinar, they're going to get sold something. They know if they opt in, they're going to get a bunch of emails about it. And me being tongue-in-cheek about it, and just being right up open.
That's right.
You're like, it's funny that you're saying that, because there's another person that does that. I forget his name, but he runs agency, and it's called Marketing Academy, I believe. Have you ever seen his ad copy? He does the same exact shit. Excuse me, sorry. He does the same exact stuff. He gets them to opt in. He's like, hey, you want to see how I filled up my calendar list of all these leads? Opt in here, and I'm going to show you how to do it. By the way, I'm going to retarget you on this ad. And then they opt in, and they're like, hey, guess what? You're on my list now. See, you're on this thing, and now you're going to schedule an appointment with me because I want to get you on my calendar. Like, and then he walks through the video, and they're like watching it, and they're just eating it up. They're just eating it up.
Yep. Inception, as much as you can do, tell people what you're doing to them. They just love it even more. Like when I did the beta for redemption funnels, the checkout page was purposely the worst. It had it asked for their social security number and their vault to their safe. Like it said I'll never like rent or sell your information, but the person sitting next to me at Starbucks that's like overlooking my shoulder probably will. She seems super shady, so you might not want to do this after all. Like just calling out so much stuff. And the premise was like, you know, when you do redemption funnels, it doesn't matter what your page looks like because it's all about the pre-framing before they even come into the funnel.
Yeah.
A lot of funnel design is all about removing friction, but what people don't on that heuristic, like motivation, like if you had the world's worst funnel, but you were selling water in a desert to someone thirsty, they don't care if the copyright on the bottom of your page still says 2018 and it's 2019, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, so motivation is the number one thing. The audience how hungry that audience is.
Yeah.
But but I just went crazy and people loved it. And that had that checkout page had it had a 90% because of the person bought, but like it wasn't anyway. It had a 100. It just didn't like the credit card got failed or whatever. But it had a 100% conversion rate, pretty much like of checking out, and it was so ugly. It was like on purpose ugly. I'm trying to think whatever. I had the button. The button was like this big, and it said this button's bigger than Russell's button, something like that, or like it was just nonsense. But people appreciate that, so you could call that out as much as you want.
I totally do it. All this stuff that you're saying.
Love it. So okay, cool. So let's hop back in. What else we have? We have about 5 more minutes. So what else do we want to go over?
I think, can we go over what are some more angles that I come at this at? Because right now I only have 2. I got the one about webinars. Webinars are dead.
Yep.
And then the next one is courses are dying also.
Okay. Courses are dying. Webinars dead.
I'm just trying to think what else I could do.
No, you have the five mistakes that everybody, no matter what industry you're in.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to use probably the same 5 mistakes over and over and over again. I'm just trying to come in at different angles. Like, see, this is.
Oh, is this the headline?
My life got so much more exciting because I got done with the funnel and the product and the value ladder. I can now be way more creative and make ads and do all this front end stuff.
Cool. So when you say headline, is this a headline for your Facebook ad or is this a headline for whatever landing page you're sending people to?
I don't know yet.
Go yes. Oh, just ideas. Okay.
5 reasons why course creators sell their soul to the perfect webinar or something. I don't know.
What about like, well, and this could be pretty interesting too. You could ask in ClickFunnels community. I think you can. Don't put me out there, but say like, what are what are your top peeves, pet peeves? You know, make a survey or whatever. Or what are the most cliche? Like, if you go on YouTube, there's got to be like a bunch of like, okay, so you'll get my you'll understand where I'm going with this. What's that dude's name? With red hair, long red hair. He does satire YouTube videos. Very quiet.
Never seen him. I feel like I know who that was.
Come on, guys, help me out in the Facebook group if you guys are watching live. He roasted Russell. He was at some event that he was there. JP Sears. JP Sears.
What does he do? Or where are we going with this?
Well, I would research JP Sears. JP Sears, he makes satires. So he'll poke fun at, he's very dry. So he's very dry humor, but he'll do like things yogis say, whatever. And it's like ridiculous. Like he has a yoga mat for his yoga mat or like something just ridiculous things. So I would watch a bunch of his YouTube videos because he did one about marketers.
Okay.
And, you could take that premise just to see what he does, and you could come up with a similar premise. Like,
what was his name again?
JP Sears. Mm-hmm. And so you could come at this a different way.
Marketing videos.
What's up?
Says sleazy marketing videos.
Yeah, right. So that's very satire, but you'll get you'll just get an idea. You'll brainstorm of other things that he's poking fun at, just to catalyze your mind. A second thing is you could go into ClickFunnels and ask a question, and your ad is pretty much reporting that question. You know, so for instance, here are, I surveyed, how many people are in ClickFunnels?
Like 200,000, I think.
I surveyed 200,000 of the top marketers. Gosh.
I like it.
I'm giving away, guys, I'm giving away everything, man. Because whether they participate in the survey is up to them, but you could.
I put it out there. It was
legitimately say, and this is where we get gray, guys. So this is where everybody's internal compass is.
Is Russell behind you?
Is the indicator. Yeah. But anyway, so use at your own risk. I'm here for creativity and ideas and opportunities and options. And if you don't like money, then don't do that. But but say, I surveyed 200,000 of the top marketers, and here are the top responses. They answered with the question, what do you hate about marketing today? Or what do you love, or whatever. I would ask a cool question. I don't know what that question is, but it's gotta like cut, right? And then let those guys do all the work for you. Can you create a poll in ClickFunnels, the Facebook group?
I'm sure you can.
So create a poll, off to the races, and just report on that poll, and then say, the truth is,
one of those things was a lie.
Yeah. I love that, dude. Yeah.
Call it out.
That's hilarious. But that would be it. That meaning like you're the reporter, right?
Yeah.
So you position yourself as a reporter, you ask a question, then that's your thing. So not like webinars are dead is
yeah, but I can go in there and definitely ask a question, be like, hey, what is your most frustrating thing right now about webinars? Right? And then like people are just gonna tell me what they are. And I can list those 5 things. And I'm gonna tell them, hey, I'll tell you, so I can do what you just said, and then I can go in to say, hey, these are top 3 ways you could solve that right now, and then I can leave the other 2, like you said, for after they opt in. And then the other 2 need to really, I don't want to tell them that they need to have a challenge funnel yet, until they opt in. I'd like to get them on my list first.
Right, that's number 1, right? So
yeah.
Right, so you get to 3 and then be like, cool, the other 2 things are waiting for you on the next page. I didn't have on this ad because honestly, I pay enough money on these ads that I don't want Facebook taking me down, and this one's a little bit controversial. Plus, I want your email address so I can market to you and sell you a bunch of stuff later on.
Yep.
I mean, right? And you could say, so you could enter in your fake email address, but I'm actually sending you guys the 2 things to that email address, which you are, but you're also going to tell them on the next page again, right? This way you want to ensure real email addresses, and then and then the 2 thing, and then the first, and then whatever your number 1 thing is has to segue you into the challenge, right? Like segue you into the thing, whatever whatever you're getting people into. You could have a hook saying that the number 1 reason your webinar isn't converting has nothing to do with the webinar.
Ooh.
and that's like, like with my redemption funnel thing, the premise was, the number 1 thing why your funnel isn't converting has nothing to do with what's happening in the funnel. It's think outside the funnel. So, in that case, right, people aren't primed yet. They don't have a know, like, or trust affinity to you. And in my opinion, I think I'd love to pick your brain on this. I think the number 1 thing that a challenge funnel does is it breaks an internal belief. So even if you are the best, like, Expert Secrets talks about internal objections, external objections. So even if they believe you, even if they believe that you can do it and you did do it, they don't believe in themselves. And so that challenge funnel gives them a quick feeling. It gives them community. It gives them accountability. But it's basically this idea would be like your webinar, your course is the same. You don't change it at all. What you're doing is you're changing the person's view of themselves, which then changes their view of you and your product. Even though you haven't changed, your product hasn't changed, they changed. It's kind of like, looking at this picture here and then putting on glasses and being able to see it for what it really is. Picture doesn't change, you don't change, but your perspective changes. And so you got to give people a perspective shift, I think. But
I think you're nailed that right on the head. That's very interesting, and I have to agree with you 100%.
Oh, well, I'm glad. If you didn't, then I would probably never talk to you again. No, I'm just kidding. All right, man. We went over a little bit. We have like Hannah's jumping on in 4 minutes. I already peed. I got my beverage, so we have 2 or 3 more minutes. If you want, we could run it out until Hannah pops on.
Has a good idea. She said she wanted to say. What is it?
Jay Ford, hit me. What you got?
All right. So this is what I'm thinking as a funny ad. You should have like a ClickFunnels page up, like with a computer, where you just see like your conversion, your numbers, not your funnel, but like all zeros, right? And then you go, and you like run out and you grab a freaking goat or something. You come back and you're sitting in front of the computer and you wait, and it's still 0. And then you go out and you get like a unicorn. You come back and you're like, okay, I got my unicorn, and it's still 0. And then you're sitting there and you're staring and you're going, boom. And you're going, it's Monday, baby, boom. Like all
Oh no, we froze, guys. Austin.
some kombucha up in there, like, and then be like,
Can you still see me?
Yeah, sorry,
Okay,
you guys froze a little bit, but I understand. I love it.
So then he comes and he puts the crown on, and the numbers start coming up, and find out how to like get your webinar to convert.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn from the king or something.
That is very creative.
But it's not really a lead. That's just a funny video.
I love it. Gosh, it kills me to admit this, but not everybody knows who I am, or even Russell. And so depending on, Russell probably, but like
that would be a very warm audience. Like,
yes, exactly, it's a warm audience. But
there's funnel hacker audience.
Yeah.
But there are pieces to what you said that actually can be applied, and I think is brilliant. Showing, yes, I think showing a ClickFunnels stat again. If somebody doesn't know ClickFunnels, that might not be as impactful. But that idea of showing it as 0, 0, 0, 0, and then all these opt-ins, and kind of like showing like, then going out or looking. I like that idea of like time's going to pass by. It's not your webinar.
It's basically you're trying all these things, nothing's working, and then here's the secret sauce.
Yep.
Step inside.
And speaking of which, we have 1 more minute before Hannah pops on. Hannah, I see that you're there. What's up? Have you done? Well, let's talk about some fun like play on words. Have you ever experimented with the idea of the crown or the king or something like that?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Some catchphrases that we could play off of with the crown. Are you the king of challenges? Like, what's some tie-in to the crown?
I'm the challenge funnel king, but sometimes people call me the Burger King because of the crown.
That. Yep. And so, okay, so then your homework is to come up with some other type of catchphrase. So for instance, like if I'm golden shower, so then it's like, put on your ponchos, or I hope you brought some clothing. I'm about to shower you in gold. It's about the poor. I called the weatherman. He said to stay home.
They call me the over delivery king in my challenge.
Okay. Love that. Love that. And so what are some things like, so for instance, you were crowned royaled, or something like some other puns we could do with crowns and with kings. Game of Thrones could be game of owned or something like that. We just got owned. So that's your homework. If you got creative juices, cool. Take your wife out to dinner tonight and have a good time and come up with fun phrases to keep building up this personal brand of a crown. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. This was gold. This was gold.
Wait, hold on. Can I get a stand-up applaudable? Do we get a standing applaudable? There it is, guys. I live off of these things. I love it.
All right, man. Thank you.
Brother. Take care, man. Congratulations. Keep going, man.
Appreciate it.
I love it. See ya.
Bye.
Hannah, Fofana, Banana, Nana, Bobana, Beep, Bop, Beep, Dop, Bop, Hannah, what's up? All right, first thing is we got to make sure I can hear you. So can you guys hear me? Look in the lower left, you're going to see a little microphone icon.
All right.
Oh, we did it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. All right. So let's just get into it.
Okay.
We're live.
And
We're
this is my
streaming.
daughter, Katie. She does my marketing for me. She sets up all the funnels.
Oh heck yeah! Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Where are you guys?
We're in Virginia.
Oh, nice. It's
Yeah.
wow. It's still light. It's still light.
I know. It's awesome.
That is sick. What is it? 7:20?
7:20.
Oh, very cool. Okay, cool.
We're going outside by the pool to do this.
Man, yeah, it looks really pretty out. So briefly say who you guys are for Facebook World and our 2CCX family, so they know who you guys are, what you guys do, and maybe how they could best contribute and serve you guys too.
Okay, awesome. So I am the owner of Mom Mastery University. It's an online university for moms. And Katie is my daughter, and she does all of our marketing. And the reason I got started is because I have 7 kids. It was kind of a struggle for me, but I started doing coaching for moms, and that just grew into an online university. And now we're growing, but we want to get better strategies so we can scale. It's been getting all the systems in place, and now we're ready to get these funnels going and
execute.
Yes.
Love it. So tell me a bit more about how you found 2ComX coaching, and tell me a little bit more about how I know one thing leads to another, but let's drill into that to see how that actually happened, how you started coaching moms.
So how I started coaching moms was I started doing a newsletter, started putting myself through transformation. And then I started using these same faith-based principles to help other moms do a newsletter. That led to books. It led to a television series on PBS, and then that grew and grew. And so, and now we're really focusing on growing this university and helping moms not only get coaching, but also become mentors so they can help other moms. And I found out about ClickFunnels years ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm one of the OGs. But it was, it's funny because going through the trainings, my books are basically you can hardly see the type because it's handwritten all in there and underlined and dog-eared and everything. So we started doing funnels a few years ago, but just kind of haphazardly.
Till this past year, but
didn't really click.
I meant to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And this is why I love asking clarifying questions. You guys were on TV, on PBS. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So we had 2 seasons. It was a show called Hannah Help Me, and it's a reality series. And I would go to an overwhelmed mom's house for 2 days, transform her so she could transform her life, and then move on to the next mom. So it was crazy because we had to pull out of PBS because Oprah's network wanted to buy it, and then that bought it, and then it fell through, and it's been crazy. So we want to eventually get that back on the air too. So yeah,
kind of make it a stream thing.
Right. We're thinking take advantage of funnels too and make it more of a since everything is streaming, get it out there.
So sorry guys, you're not off the hook. You just can't be like, yeah, we're on TV, 2 series, Oprah wanted to buy it. You can't. I mean, come on. I live in Los Angeles. So what you just said was what?
No, I was just there. But what?
How did that come about?
I literally don't know.
I don't remember.
No, it was so weird because I started doing things just got it out there, and my help, people started featuring it in things, and my books got kind of, people started picking that up, and then all of a sudden I was on TV for stuff, and we did Rachel Ray a lot, and
do you have a publicist? How did you all of a sudden get on TV?
Okay, so there were companies that found out about me, and they're like, hey, can you promote my yogurt? Can you promote this? And so I started doing media tours with them. And then people saw me on, local news things. And Today's Show just randomly reached out and I don't know, when they were doing a piece on Momnesia. And Rachel Ray called me back several times because I did one segment with her. And so that led to several more and just things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah.
Yeah.
And when did this, what year was this when this kind of?
Oh my gosh.
It was probably
like
07 or 08, maybe.
it was like 10 years ago, and we've just been
Wow.
growing it from there.
Yeah, that's kind of how
because they were
it got
little.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, maybe more around 2010-ish. That's maybe
It's
when
been like
all
7-8 years.
Yeah, and then that's just how she got her platform, and we've just, tweak it with time, keep it relevant and all that stuff. And it started with the whole like tips of things in the kitchen and getting dressed, but now it's more of a like rewire your brain kind of thing.
Yeah. So my latest book came out called Mom Fog, and it's helping moms overcome mom fatigue syndrome, because I kind of want that to be my thing, And we signed with a big publishing house. You'll love this story. I'll make it really fast. Signed with one of the biggest contracts I ever signed with the biggest Christian publishing house. And when I turned in the manuscript, the editor was like, well, we're kind of having a problem. I was like, it's exactly what we agreed on. And she said, well, we just feel like it's too empowering for moms.
No.
And
no, wait, that's a bad thing? How is that a what?
I was like, wait, what?
So people prey on overwhelmed moms.
Yeah, they're like, here's how to fold the laundry, not like here's how to feel empowered. But anyway, back and forth. And so I bought my rights back, and we're going to create a funnel that, the funnel we did already made like at least 25% or almost half of what I signed.
Actually, it's about a third of,
of what my original like sign-on bonus was. So it's like, I don't need a publisher.
Holy smokes. So, do you know people in this, do you know Holly Homer in this group?
No.
Okay, because Holly's a pretty big mom blogger. And she's
like, that's what I need to know.
Yeah, and she's a beast, and there's so many other people in this group. So, your homework.
Yes.
Actually, I'm telling your assistant daughter, marketing, head of marketing daughter, your homework, or someone's homework, is to write in the group, share your story in a post, doesn't have to be long, blame it on me, saying, Dave told me to put out the bat signal to find other like-minded moms that are serving moms or their family. Share a little bit about your story, because it's super intriguing. And you're going to find your syndicate, if you will. Okay, because there's enough of you guys. So for instance, Holly is massive blogger, and she's selling like downloadable printables, right? For people that are doing either at home schooling or activities and things like that. What I mean by that is that's completely complimentary. And that would be awesome. So, and there's a few other people in this group that I just know, which on my and I have horrible memory. I'm not a mom. Is dad Deja?
Yeah, you have dad fatigue syndrome.
Okay. But my wife, like we have 2 small kids. My wife is like, we're still, when I say, it's always funny. It's like we're still breastfeeding. It's like, well, I'm not really doing any of that stuff, but I see this being so needed. So that's awesome. Let's get into like some nitty. Oh, and the second thing is that, so you don't have a publicist right now, if I understand correctly.
No, we're self-publishing. I bought all my rights back.
I love it. And so there is somebody there's somebody in this group that is a publicist. She's amazing, and her main wheelhouse lately has been doing PR for e-com type brands, but she does PR for everybody. And it would be good just to hear your story, because her name's Emily Richette. I'm not sure if you've met her yet, but in this post that you're going to do homework, you could say, oh, and Emily Richette, Dave said I should get to know you, something like that, because Mother's Day is coming up, and there might be a good opportunity for her to just give you free publicity if there's a way. But if nothing else, she's just an amazing human being, and the fact that you've had some PR experience, actually a lot. I mean, like, that's not a normal thing. The fact that you've been able to accomplish that's amazing, and we just want to make sure we leverage it as much as we can.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I see.
And you share that story if you feel comfortable with sharing that story. I don't know if you do too often, but the fact that you bought your rights back because the publisher was trying to get you to dumb down the empowerment of the book, like,
yeah,
it's like amazing. So, okay, cool. So what can we actually do today? Are we looking at a funnel? Are we looking at an offer or a
I
challenge?
think we should
What?
look at the Mom Fog funnel and also maybe our sales page for Mom Mastery University. What do you think?
Well, what are you selling? Well, ultimately, let's talk about your value ladder right now. So you have books. You got some books.
Challenge. Yeah, we have a Mom Fog challenge, 21-day Mom Fog challenge that we launched.
Okay.
And that's the book. And so you can get like for $40, you get the daily videos and we ship a book out to you. And then for an additional $60, you get the audio program. You get like this whole assortment of tools like yoga exercises, all this kind of stuff. So that's our challenge. We have that funnel up. And we got it up in like a week and a half. So like, she did.
Crazy.
Were you guys both at Funnel Hacking Live this year?
She couldn't. She had a little baby she had to stay home with.
Okay.
I know. But I was my husband, and so we have but she's coming next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, and congratulations on the baby.
Thank you.
And then we have our sales page for the university.
And that's what we try to lead people from the Mom Fog Challenge after every cycle into the university.
And that's just subscription.
Yeah.
Subscription.
That's like the funnel that we're trying to feed right now. That we're trying to.
And so has this launched yet or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it has. So let's look at your stats on the challenge. Like, can we look at stats? It's always a good place to start. And and while you're sharing your screen, do you have like a massive list from the last 10 years from the PR stuff, or?
It's huge. I mean, we have what, like 23,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have other assets? By the way, there's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just trying to get
I'm trying to think.
as much as the picture. Do you have a blog, or are you doing any?
We have a blog. We have a podcast called That Mom Show, which has been like since we launched it, it's been a new and noteworthy, and it got up to like number 4, I think, or something.
Yeah.
So it's doing really well. That Mom Show is doing really well.
Love
we
it.
have the podcast. We have the book. We have old episodes of the television series, which we're probably going to package and give access to that. What else do we have? And a ton of challenges, like a ton of like freebies and those kind of things.
Yep.
Okay, so how do you?
Hold on.
hold on.
And you have 7 kids?
Yeah.
What's the age range?
Okay, 25 down to 13. So Katie's my second oldest, and then we have 3 boys in the middle and 2 girls bringing up the rear.
Holy smokes!
It's always a party.
My goodness, that's awesome. So, and would this? I'm assuming it's any mom, but in general, from your experience, have moms with really young kids join, or is it moms with the kids a little older?
It's crazy, Dave. Like, we have moms with little kids. We have grandmothers in there. We have people who don't have any kids. We have men who are like, can we join?
Right.
And just like, don't say anything about us. But mostly it's like in that age where you're staying home with them and it's a struggle. It's like anything from newborn up until like, I would say high school, that's our main thing, because every single chapter brings its own challenges. And so we have over 700 trainings inside our university to deal with every single challenge that a mom could have. So, and also we have 6, kind of like you can major in something in college. We have 6 different, we call them pillars. And so you can focus on those one at a time, and then you get it all done and you can be part of the club, that kind of thing. So we have a lot of ascension built in. So.
And how long is this, the university's been around in terms of some, I'm sure you're constantly updating it and upgrading it, but.
Like it started as just like, here's some places where you can tune in for coaching. And, and then that turned
evolved like crazy.
It's evolved like crazy. So now it's got a multi-level affiliate portion of it. So they can actually make, significant money by sharing it with other people. And that's something that just launched in the past year or so. Yeah. So basically we're after world domination via moms.
By the way, when I'm quiet, it's a good sign.
Oh, okay. Well,
Doesn't happen too often. It means like
help me.
no, this is great. So there's lots of things we could do. So okay. Well, I'm going to save it for the end. So let's actually go into the funnel though.
Okay. So that's
check that out.
Yeah. That's your thing.
So I'm just thinking like I'm just thinking of my wife, right? Because like we're in it, guys. Like, holy smokes! And my wife, shout out to Roni. She's not going to watch this, but she's not in the group. But she's in Israel. My wife is Israeli. My wife's family is in Israel. So she just flew 16 hours with a 9-month-old and a 2.5-month-old, and now they're dealing with jet lag. I'm going out there in a couple of weeks to be with them, but I couldn't do the whole trip, and. So this is my question for you guys. How does somebody who already doesn't have time make time for this?
Dude, everybody has 24 hours. You just don't know how to manage it. Let me help you.
Yeah. No, it's a great thing. Saying like, if you're saying you don't have time, then you need this more than anybody, right? It's like
if you don't have enough money, there's a problem there. Let's figure it out.
Yeah. And
that's huge. Yeah.
What's that?
Time management, that's like a big portion of the university.
And
clutter, yeah. Have you ever hit an obstacle where it's priced so low, guys? I don't think so, but I'm asking the stupid questions that maybe it warrants something, but like the decision maker who actually makes the payments might not be
always.
Okay, it feels weird to say that because hopefully
found out. No, this is what we found out, Dave. That a lot of moms have a subconscious fear that they can't succeed because they've had so much learned helplessness in their life, like trying and failing. And so it's much easier to say, my husband doesn't want me to do it, or even preface it to your husband like, we can't afford this, can we? That kind of thing. It
justifies not wanting to make the leap.
Yeah, it's almost that validation for fear.
And that's where our student services team comes in.
Yeah, our student services.
We usually talk them through all of that. So.
What's the student? Tell me about this. I love asking you guys questions.
Yeah, we have a phone line. Like we have a phone line where like sometimes it's a prayer line. Like we're actually like, how can I pray over you? So it's starting as a ministry actually and evolved into a business. So we actually had to open up an entire different corporation and pay for the assets from the ministry to go into the corporation because we wanted to enable moms to make money through it.
Say that again. Wait, sorry, I missed that last piece. It started off as a ministry?
As a ministry, and then we actually formed a corporation and moved the assets from the ministry into the corporation so that we could also use it as an affiliate program so moms could make money by helping other moms. Because one big problem, especially in this information age, is that moms have never felt so isolated in their life.
Yep.
And what's cool about the affiliate program, though, is we've had a few moms who have been able to make enough money to be like retire their husbands from their second job or help pay off the mortgage. So it's like we have a lot of husband testimonials.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We have husbands who write in all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then let's talk about the actual ascension. So, the challenge is fairly new. Is this when?
Yeah. But we've always had challenges.
Okay, so we have the challenge on the bottom, right? Getting someone in. After the it's a 21-day challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. After the 21 days, what happens?
Move them up into a 90-day mom challenge inside Mom Master University. There are 6 different 90-day mom challenges.
Love it.
If they do every single one, then they get in the Crest Club. And that's a huge thing. Like moms being esteemed and part of a club, and I accomplished this. And we also have a mom boot camp, which is pretty intense work with your belief system. And that's a higher ticket, like $500. And when they do all of that, then we're launching an honor society, like a sorority that we just love on them and jewelry and I'm so excited about that. And then we also have an ascension just for the mentors to become, to grow their teams and eventually become licensed coaches through our university and that kind of thing.
Has that happened yet? or not yet?
Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces. So the coaching we're launching probably in January to become a licensed mom coach. The honor society, like the sorority, that launches. We're trying to get that launched in this spring.
So let's go over what the Ascension looks like now.
You do that.
So it starts with the Mom Fog Challenge,
Yes.
or any other freebies or anything like that. But the thing we're focusing on right now is the Mom Fog Challenge. And once they complete that, we usually nurture them into the university, which university students were constantly plugging, like the Mom Boot Camp, which is quarterly. And then it just goes into her inner circle, which is our highest ticket offer, which is only like 10, 15 people a year, which we keep it at that because it is an inner circle. It's, really exclusive. So that's what it looks like right now. But there are these things we're trying to supplement into the Ascension, like the Crest Club. That's our goal, but that's what we have right now.
Yeah.
The inner circle, what's your price point right now for that?
Last year was 10,000. We brought it up to 15,000 this year, which is for moms. A lot of times that's cost prohibitive, but there are a few who are like, okay, I've had such great transition with the university and the boot camp. I want to scale this thing up, and they've had incredible. Like we have repeat people.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. So the first thing that comes to mind in terms of parts of this, what you're doing, some similarities to the Martino's relationship breakthrough model. Stacy spoke on stage, right? Funnel Hacking Live this year, and the idea of that you're always ascending. There's always you kind of gamified it, right? There's always another level for that significance to keep them going, and then eventually, the highest level is you get certified to do it to help others, right? And that's the whole thing. So it's awesome. One of the things from their success, and I know this because I'm, in my mastermind with them, is they do a lot of this, at a live event. Now, have you ever thought about do you guys do meetups or any live events?
We have a yearly conference. Yeah.
Love it. And then do you sell at that yearly conference?
We do,
but we sell boot camp.
We sell boot camp,
so
which is a $500.
Right. So we're reworking that because we find that a lot of people bring their friends or their church group. So we're
like playing around with it right now. We're not really
maybe
sure what
do the
to
university because the high ticket offer was scary, but in the moment there's so much hype, so they're like yes. But we're gonna try to figure out what that looks like for this year.
But for that kind of high ticket thing, they always want to talk to their husbands. And if they're like calling, honey, can I spend 10,000? It's like
what?
What? You shouldn't have gone there.
Yeah.
Okay. So yep. And so I'm not a high ticket guy, but
like boot camp, it was pretty successful.
It was
selling boot camp.
It was fairly successul. I kind of want to I want to see what it's like selling the actual university.
Yeah. How much is the university right now?
We have we sell two different membership levels at $49
and $79
per a month.
Yeah.
Have you ever offered a yearly university?
Well, the only problem with that is because of the affiliate portion of it. There's a payout every month, so there has to be that monthly payout because some people will not be able to extend their membership for more than a few months. It gets really complicated. That's why most MLMs is like a monthly thing.
I understand why they can't sell yearly, but can you sell yearly at your events?
I don't know because a portion will go to a mentor. I don't know.
That's a good
idea.
If you sell a yearly, anyway, you want to figure out ways because you guys have lots of assets. So it's like, let's figure out how we can leverage it. And the thing would, by the way, this is what I'm thinking, but talk to somebody who has more like event closing experience. But what I've noticed, what ClickFunnels does is, at least they did it last year. I don't know if they did it this year Funnel Hacking Live, but last year it was like a $500 deposit, or it was some type of deposit. And then so that they basically, if the decision maker of that household isn't there for a $10,000 purchase, I could totally see how that would cause a lot of friction and stop the momentum of a purchase. But if it was a $200 deposit or $500 deposit, And that $500 deposit gets them a year's worth of the university. And you on an onboarding call with them and the significant other to see if it's a good fit.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, thank you. That's why I'm here.
But love that.
Because we like, here's the thing, you guys have so much. By the way, that just made my day. Just getting you excited. This makes my day when I see somebody go,
Oh, so good.
That's awesome.
I love calls. I love to sell. It would be great.
And because you don't want to deprive them of that, you have the best momentum at a live event. Guys, you guys were at a live event, right? That's why you gave a whole bunch of money to us, right? Like that's why we're here. And that momentum, that feeling, seeing everybody else to rush, oh gosh, you got to sell them something. And usually you want to sell them the biggest thing at that event because they already took the time to get there. They took the time. So, and then I was like, how can you leverage something? And so the nice thing is that if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, that $500 isn't refundable.
Right. Because you get it to the university.
But they got exactly. But they have, it's not like we stole your money. It's like, no, you still got an incredible deal that you would not. And if that's true, that if you can't really do yearly things, and then you have real scarcity and urgency. You don't have like made up, like this goes away tomorrow, even though tomorrow you're going to be like, all right, fine. It goes away next month.
Do not offer this.
This is the only time this entire year that you could get this offer. And you could literally make it easy for them, saying it's $500 to book. You could call it, and listen, you could even say like, we're highly selective of who we work with in our inner circle.
Like a discovery call.
I would say, a discovery call to see if we're a good fit. And this way you have your whoever else on that call to ask as many questions. And if we decide after that call it's not a good fit for either of us, then we walk away and you still leave with
have a year of learning, and growing, and maybe next year.
That's right. Oh, that's a great add-on, Hannah. That's awesome. I love that.
I'm excited.
You guys are awesome.
It's so beautiful.
I love that.
Is that cool?
I love that. But you know what? I can see some of the people who are already in it saying, wait, I want to buy that now because I want to go ahead and get my, so we'll have to work out the back end.
Details.
Say it again. Let's work it out now. We have like.
Okay, so we have back end software that we programmed. Not we. Oh my God. But no, and so it calculates who their mentor is, what level they're at, so that equates to the percentage that they get paid out. So for example, if you're a national director, you get paid 30% of your mentor, your mentee's payment. If you're an international director, it's 35%. It caps out at 35%. So we would have to do the configuring to be able to do that yearly thing so that they immediately get that big bump.
That would be hyper.
Yeah, they would be.
How many people came to your last event?
Roughly
like 500.
600.
Oh.
Dang. Okay. I'm trying to understand. So that's a decent amount. Even with that amount of people though, let's say half of them take you up on this offer. Okay. So that's 300 people you need to manually change on the affiliate commission payout or whatever. It's worth it, guys. It's worth it because it's still $500. Even if of those 300 people, only 10 of them end up. But do you see how you're framing those people that this is because it is what they want. So they get to feel good of putting that money down right then and there with the fantasy that maybe I will do the 10K, 15K a year thingy, but even not, they get on a call with you, which I know they're going to value, and they get a year's worth of membership locked in. It's a really.
But let me ask you.
I tend to be humble, but I sometimes I just need to just own it. That's a really good idea, guys.
In your own glory, right?
1 second, I'm just. I got. I'm sorry. I'll be right with you.
Wait, turn it on.
I'm sorry. What was that? Yes. Yeah. And then you just ask for a $500 deposit. And
look like Satan right now.
I look what? Look
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you look like Satan right now.
Like
You're
who?
like,
Oh, like say yeah. If you don't join
I
this
am
mommy
crazy.
group.
Behind me.
Look at his face so red.
Oh my goodness.
Now, would we sell like a year's worth of membership, or would we sell Mom Boot Camp, which is already a $500 product? Because there wouldn't be any programming in that.
So you sell the boot
Because
camp.
also our event is the last weekend in September, and the fall session of Mom Boot Camp kicks off the first that Monday that follows.
Wow.
So we could have like real urgency.
Did you sell Mom Boot Camp last year?
Yes, and
And what was the take rate?
Wait, do what?
how it did convert?
At the live event,
Yeah.
it was, we probably had like
But see, we can't tell how many people already were in it. A lot of people had already gone through
a lot
it.
of people had already gone through it.
So I think
we
we
had like
had
15 or 20.
yeah, 20, yeah.
It wasn't like a crazy rush. It was crazy because we had a lot of people who had already done it, who literally like got up on stage and they were like,
It kind of went crazy because people were like, "Let me tell you about my testimony." Like it was kind of crazy.
It was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yep, but Mom University's always like, for instance, Mom Boot Camp, someone's going to do it and they might do it again, like one funnel away challenge, but they might not, right? Or they might already be in it. You want basically like this. Let me ask you guys need to answer this question, but you want, I don't know how else to say this without saying like evil, but you want to be able to make the most amount of money from your event because there's a lot of money and time that you spent getting people taking their butt, getting them in a chair, and it's not to go all like it's a disservice if you don't, but it is like they took all this time
Oh, it totally is.
to be
No,
there.
totally.
You're doing a disservice if you don't get them locked in at least for a year in your training and with an opportunity to get them into an inner circle thing if it makes sense for both you guys.
And that would be something that even the members who are already in there would want to buy because they get a lower rate.
And guess what? Those guys, you think they're your best buyers or your worst buyers? People that already bought from you multiple times.
Oh, best.
They're the best buyers, right? So you don't want to deprive those people who've already bought with an offer that doesn't allow them to buy from you guys.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? I thought you guys are like, a ministry and supposed to be doing good in this world. How dare you? My goodness. So,
like literally we went to go, I took a red eye last night because I was scoping out places for our conference. And I was honestly saying, I don't know exactly how we're going to sell this year. I don't know what we're going to sell or how we're going to sell, but that's just so brilliant.
Okay. I got more brilliance for you. And then I'm going to go, if that's okay.
Okay. All right.
So it's going to be a brilliant and buy.
Okay.
A double B. By the way, before I do, you guys feeling good about this call? Yeah.
Totally. Yes.
Okay, cool. Do you know what's really fun? Do you know what's fun? As we're talking, I'm seeing like night enter in Virginia. It's so pretty.
Like, look at that.
It's so nice, guys. You guys got a pool. Okay, so this is my big win for you guys. Massively big. Holy cow. Okay, first question.
He just got a revelation.
I got a what?
I said he just got a revelation.
I did, and it's about to be revealed to you guys. So do you guys do any affiliate promotions, promoting other people's stuff?
We do every once in a
so
while.
often.
Yeah. Like some of my friends who have like come out with books and stuff. We did like Anna Kadeka. So, we'll do things in the newsletter and kind of do a. I just helped one of Jennifer Allwood, one of my friends, do a promotion for her event. That kind of stuff.
Cool. Okay. So I see two huge opportunities for strategic partnerships. Let's call it. Okay. So one, she's also like one of my favorite people in the world too, and she's super duper awesome in with business and she just did her first live event too. It sounds to me, by the way, you guys get an applaudable because you're the idea of kind of like what ClickFunnels did. You have an affiliate program to your program. These people entering are moms. They're probably very new to the online marketing space, if they wanted to scratch their itch or maybe contribute to the family, like my wife, like she wants her independence and she also wants to bring in a little bit of income, even if it's like, right, just to feel like, right. So you gave them that opportunity. And I'm wondering if that means they could take on other opportunities in the make money niche, right? And so I am thinking that you could affiliate with the first person that comes to mind is Allison Prince.
Yes,
do you know?
yes.
Do you know Allison?
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's amazing. Okay, well, she's amazing. I'd love to connect you guys. I'll see if how quickly we can make that happen because she serves moms.
Totally.
And shows them how to have a small e-commerce business.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And she just did her first event, and I won't give numbers, but she crushed it. Right?
Yes.
And so yes, you could affiliate to like random people, but if this person I could personally about, like Allison gets result, like her stuff is amazing and she's serving the same audience as you guys are. So as long as we're always focused on how do we serve that audience, I think she's in a great affiliate partner to reach out to. And she sells a course for $9.97. I think she pays 40% commission. So that's a nice win for you guys. And you're enabling your people if they want to keep going on the journey of being sufficient and making some money. And her hook is her kids. Her kids sold over 100K selling scarves. And so moms, children, it just works really well. Plus, yeah. And it just, the Prince family is amazing and you guys would vibe really well. So that is one thing. But even like the Martinos, affiliating with the relationship course or something like that. Remember, this is a big epiphany. Do you want to, so Russell, we always talk about the blue ocean, right? So there's three big oceans, right? Like, are you serving the make money, the relationship, or the health and fitness, right? So those are the three big things. But once you like, you guys have such a great relationship with your customers. Like half of this call was just me asking questions, right? That you don't actually want to serve them in one ocean. You want to service that person 360 degrees, right? So if that person, yes, they came to you for support in the mom fog space, but once we clear that fog, how do we serve them also financially? Make money opportunities with like boutique, with people that you vetted, that that you like and trust, right? By the way, I'm not suggesting you promote anything on ClickBank or you promote some supplement or something like that.
It had to be in total alignment.
Exactly. Now, mind you, if moms need some self-care and want to make their own lip balms, I'm all for that and happy to promote, some of my businesses, but we could talk about that offline.
Cool.
Though bath bombs, self-care and lip balms and all that fun stuff.
We have a mandatory self-care day inside our university. So
let's talk about that. And that actually brings me, by the way, on servicing that person, let me finish my train of thought. And Lauren Golden is supposed to be on right now at 5:00. We're going to keep going until she jumps on, because this is really good, guys. And but if she pops on, I might abruptly go. So what else would that person need? Maybe improve their relationships, and you can reach out to the Martinos or other people doing relationship stuff. Maybe it's maybe their child has some sensory issues or autistic or some type of challenge with that. And I'm a partner in a company that makes sensory products for that very reason. You partner with that. I know I have a lot going on. So, but the idea would be service that person 360 degrees with strategic partners. The second thing is, holy smokes, guys. You have a connection with a very specific demographic, which are moms, which big business owners would pay. I leave a lot for access to that. So reach out to some energy drink company that is, you know, organic or something, right? And say, hey, we're doing an event for like 600 moms. Would you like to sponsor the beverages, right? And you could get a bunch of free stuff, which is always fun. Nick and Amanda Bayerly, I'm not sure, they also spoke at Funnel Hacking Live this year. I'm not sure if you remember them. They were
yes, I
really
do.
cool,
I do.
cute, adorable couple. They're awesome. So they're in this group. I would ask them. I mean, the nice thing about me being in my position is I'm a pretty sociable guy. So I don't remember like what I'm supposed to do today or tomorrow, but I do remember these things like this, which is thank goodness, because it's at least it's a valuable value to you. Like otherwise I'd be worthless in this world, right? These random things. But Nicholas and Amanda, when they do events, that's what they do. They call big sponsors like RX Bar. You know those RX bars?
Yeah.
These are big brands and say, hey, you know, they represent men, businessmen who want it all in life type deal. But it's like, would you want to sponsor? And they got RX Bar to sponsor, you know, hundreds of these protein type bars. It does two things. One, it's free stuff and people like free stuff, but it also, to be associated with those brands, it actually builds, in my opinion, your brand up. And if you can do that, not just at your event, but if you could do that as part of the challenge funnel, is you get physical stuff, right? That you don't pay for, but someone else does. It's also really, really cool. So I think there's a huge play to reach out to.
We could even have like, go ahead and get your registration because we only have this many bags, and you have to like go ahead and reserve your swag bag.
The swag bag, man. Yes, I don't know if you did that at your event last year, but swag bags are huge. And getting physical product companies that are looking to target moms, which is such a lucrative audience that I think you could totally get a bunch of free, awesome stuff, whether it's diapers, whether it's massage oil too, not just the child. Think about the mom, right? Any Amazon, you go to Amazon right now and type in massage oil and you contact all those guys and say, hey, I have a group of 20,000 moms. I've been on TV, Oprah, like you show them that your guys are the real deal and be like, we're accepting, you know, 3 sponsors for our challenge. 2 spots have already been taken. Would you like that last spot? I mean, come on. Like these guys, of course someone's going to hit. So it's a little bit of work, a little bit of effort. I'd reach out to the Bayerleys. So let's bring it back home. Lauren Golden, you're coming on. Don't worry, we'll go 5 minutes over on our section. So hang tight. You're doing great, Lauren. I see you, and I'm going to be bringing it in 1 second. So part of your homework, let's recap, okay? Because we went over a lot of stuff. Let's bring it home, people. So what's that? Okay, here we go. I'm going to recap. Number 1, we determined that you guys are the real deal. You guys are beasts. And so it's just taking what you already have, all your blood, sweat, and tears for the last 10 years, and just moving the pieces around. It's just like reconfiguring things to get the most leverage from the assets that you already have. We talked about your homework assignment, which is posting in the group who you guys are, who you represent, and calling out other people to comment below in your post if they're also serving moms or serving, pretty much serving moms, right? Like serving moms. I want you to reach out to Emily Richette, who is an amazing publicist and is in our community, just awesome. I want you to reach out to the Bayerleys, Nick and Amanda, to find out how they leverage sponsorships for their events. You could reach out to Allison Prince on Facebook, but I'll send her a private message too to be like, yo, like I told these guys to do that because she's probably busier than I am, but she's awesome, and I think there's an amazing strategic relationship. So let's talk about that. Once you serve somebody holistically, once you get them in the door and you solve the original thing that got them in there, mom fog, you then have free will to service them 360 degrees, whether it's relationship offers, whether it's more money-making opportunity offers, whether it's financial offers, and find Brad and Ryan in the group that do cash flow tactics and things like that. So service them 360 degrees. We talked about your events.
Ryan, you said?
Yeah, Ryan and Bradley Gibb. Okay. We talked about you got confirmation affirmation that your model is doing awesome. We talked about some of the similarities with the Martinos. But the biggest kind of opportunity we found is the Martinos. That's at the event itself. That's where they really sell their inner circle. And so we figured out a way to get the best of both worlds, because at that event, usually both couples are there, usually not always, or they did a different job of ascending them. Do you charge for your event?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much do you charge for the event?
What was it?
About
It's not a lot.
It's like
It's less than
190
200.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now that we understand that the more people that come to that event, the long term, the more money you'll make, the more you could serve. Possibility is when somebody buys a boot camp, it includes a free ticket to the event.
I need a high five on that. That was so good.
And on that note, which is an F sharp, because I'm sure there's other things, I need you guys to stand up right now before it gets dark, and I want it. I'm demanding it. I'm demanding the applaudable. I'm demanding it. I'm demanding it. Ladies, let's do this.
Stop. Here, there we go.
That's good. You guys are holding the laptop?
Yeah, we're holding the laptop.
Okay, this entire time I'm like, you had like 2 children like in your arms, like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. How are you doing this? Awesome, guys. And I'm sure we talked about 5 other things, but no, that's all I got. Oh yes. And the other big thing that we talked about was all that awesomeness that you had before, being on TV, the books, all that stuff. Use it, and now you have another avenue to use it on. You're not using it just on the moms, you're using it on the sponsors. Because if I get approached by somebody saying, hey, I'm doing an event, do you want to give me Bounty paper towels or dish detergent or something? But if like, hey, that's me on I'm so I have the and like whatever TV series and all that stuff, I'm going to be like, what? So really come up with a cool like about Hannah type thing, and maybe you already have that page, but I would clean it up. I would make sure, just look it over again, because that's where I'd send your social proof, not to the moms, but to the sponsorships of that. Does that, you got to view those guys as customers too a little bit, right?
Totally.
All right, kids, I love you. It's super creepy dark now. It's crazy. That happened very quickly.
I know. Thanks for sharing the sunset with us.
Yeah, it was so nice. It was the first time that ever happened. I love it. Cool, guys. Have a great night.
All right, bye-bye.
See ya. All right, Lauren Golden in the group. What's up?
That was like the best possible conversation that I could have just hijacked, because I don't know if you can read my hat.
What?
But I'm sitting here dying. I was like going, no, I love Allison Prince, but don't introduce them. Like right here. So anyway, I've already totally creeped out on those lovely ladies' Facebook pages. I'll introduce myself later.
Dude, hold on 1 second.
You're messaging Allison Prince, aren't you?
Yo, Prince, just a heads up. I may or may not have been pimping you out on all my audibles today. Love you. All the best. Bye. Yeah.
You totally were.
I did,
you
yeah.
Totally were.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being cheated on my own Audible.
No, it's to set the expectations that
awesome.
that she's got some peeps to meet.
No, that was so cool.
Okay, love this. So it looks like a similar niche. Let's get into it. Lauren, just for the people that are watching on Facebook Live and will be watching, it's such a good opportunity to share a little bit about who you are and what you're doing. Take it away.
Awesome. So my name's Lauren Golden. I'm the founder of the Free Mama and the Free Mama Movement. That's my 12-week online program. And I help moms free themselves from the 9-to-5 to start a successful freelancing business from home and live a totally awesome guilt-free life.
Love it.
That's the short version. I'm a talker, so how much you want?
Well, what brought you, well, first off, how did you discover ClickFunnels and 2CCX and Russell?
Sure.
And stuff?
Cool. So I actually discovered Liz Benny, who is clearly a, success story of Russell's in the ClickFunnels community. I actually bought Social Monkey Business back in 2015, which was her first program. And that was the catalyst for me to be able to quit my job as a very stressed out, overwhelmed, resentful mom of two, who knew there had to be a better way to have an income and still be the mom that I wanted to be and be more present and control my schedule. So that was my background. So when I became very successful and people started asking me, oh my gosh, how are you doing this? How are you, you seem to have this amazing work-life balance. Like, how did you figure that out? I actually went back to Liz, and lucky for me, it was when she launched her Kapow course. So basically this is a promo for Liz Benny. She's awesome. But I bought Kapow course, and then I started working with her one-on-one. So I first came into the ClickFunnels world from her. I actually worked with Liz one-on-one to launch my program. It's awesome. I'm not the same person I was before this whole thing started. But the reason that so that's kind of what brought me to Funnel Hacking Live. And then I knew before I even came that I was going to sign up for this. I was like the first one back at the counter talking with Jamie Smith. I'm like, just write my name down. I'm like, we're done here. Yeah. Like literally I was the first one at the counter. So I was like waiting for them to sell it to me. And my biggest motivation was I love Liz. I still work with Liz. I needed to surround myself with new people who were like ahead of me and had different ideas than me and weren't on like the same kind of thing. And I'll be honest, like I came out, I'm an action taker. Like I don't have time not to take action. Like I got to get it done. So I can go hang out with my kids. Right. Yep. So I moved very fast. And my whole motivation was like, how do I get around other people who are doing what I'm doing? Like I literally joined for the people. I'll be honest. Like I wanted the people.
That's a good reason to join. I will say, any mastermind that I've been in, like the thing that got you there isn't the thing that keeps you there, and it's always the networking and the community and stuff. So you definitely got your ROI then, because the person on before us, Hannah, I mean, you guys I think are an amazing strategic partnership, and I know there's other people in this group that are serving moms.
Totally. Yep. Yeah.
So and I love Liz. So both of us have been told multiple times in the last couple of years that there's a lot of similarities between me and Miss Benny. So
really, that's awesome. Well, now you have a special place in my heart. So that's awesome.
And I'll take that as a huge compliment. So
that's awesome.
So where are you right now in your business in terms of? I didn't check the form. What's the biggest takeaway that you want out of this call? What's the 25 minutes, 30 minutes from now, and you're like, yes.
Can we go like super ambitious here?
Sure.
I want you to turn me into a scaling, optimizing ninja, mostly emphasis on the optimizing. So I'll just lay it out there where I'm at, because we have a short amount of time together. So here's where I'm at. I can't break through a 6-figure month. Like if I spend more money on ads, I have the same amount of sales. Like I need to do an ads Audible too. I know that. But I think that's only a part of the conversation. I don't think that's the whole thing. So clearly I have a converting funnel. I am like knocking on 2 comma clubs. Like I'm like 850,000. I'm like, come on. Like, yeah. But it's like, I'm impatient and I'm like, I'm doing these things. I've got an amazing team. But this whole world, like I'm like 15 months in on my journey. Like it was fast. Thank you. It's insane. Nuts. So I started working with Liz in September of 2017, and I put that investment on a credit card, and that was some scary stuff. And so it was go time. But I have an amazing community. I have literally, I'm listening to you talk to the last girls, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now. But I love my community. I mean, I've got an insane email. Like I've got all the things, right? And it's like, I don't know what I don't know what I don't know, I guess. Yep. And so when it comes to my funnel and I'm looking at numbers and I'm trying to like figure all this stuff out, and I'm like, okay, well my opt-in rate isn't awesome. So, okay, let's try a split test on the registration. And this is all obviously like the very technical level. And I'm like, I don't even know what I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, it's like, I don't know. It's like saying 70%. Do I change it? Is that even better? I don't even know, it's like, I've been running off the same thing pretty much this whole time. So yeah, I want to be awesome at optimizing. I want to make everything better. Like I have something amazing. How do I make it even better? Like that's where I'm at.
Okay. So this is good.
Cool.
Cause as much as I love, I feel very certain I can help you with that.
That's awesome.
Because as much as I love ideas, many years ago, that's my specialty was conversion rate optimization and landing page optimization. And the biggest holdback back then was the software to do it was really complicated. And ClickFunnels really did a good job of making it very easy. Now, you can't do like multivariate rate testing, or I wouldn't recommend that. But in terms of the testing that we want to do, there's no reason not to test and not get a learning. Not so much get better or worse, but get a learning. And I always say a learning is you have a hypothesis, which is why you think about something, and then it's expressed in the change of the funnel, and then you get a learning after it. So do you have your stats or your landing page queued up so we could take a look at the numbers? And then also, is this an automated webinar now, or is it live?
Yeah.
It's automated, right?
Automated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you using a deadline funnel 30 days after any of that stuff?
No. Okay. So here's my other thing. And I understand the choices that I'm making. Let me just preface by that. So you already know my niche. I know the strategies. I listen to the podcast. I follow Russell. Like there's certain things I know, right? And I implement for sure. There's other things I know and it feels icky for my audience. I know my audience. I know that women will literally sell clothes on Craigslist for 3 months to be able to buy my program. I mean, it's the reality. And so for me to say like, doors closed, screw you, like you didn't buy by Sunday, like that does not feel good with my people. Like and yes, logically, I know I could make more money and do all these things, but so the short answer is no. And I might need to be, I don't know, talked out of the way I'm thinking about it, but I do know that I know my audience, they're long-term buyers. People do not buy off my webinar. They buy on the 6th email of my email sequence. Almost all of them. Like, it's just, they want to talk to their husband. They want to do, like, there's a lot of decision-making. These are not fast action buyers.
Okay. So, by the way, I'm never going to ask you to do something you don't want to do or feel comfortable doing. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. So totally. I say that because, let me just rephrase that. You are open to scarcity and urgency. You're not open to false scarcity and urgency, or scarcity and urgency that doesn't feel right for you.
Correct.
We still want to add an element. By the way, so the objective of this call is to get you to get, let's say, I think so. Yeah. Totally. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right, so something to think about the workshop. We could workshop it right now, or we could talk. What is a scarcity and urgency that you could use to encourage a decision? Just put that out there. By the way, it doesn't have to be prices going up. It could be an incentive. It could be you get this extra bonus.
That feels way better.
It could be a real scarcity and urgency, like you printed up 50 shirts and that is all you got, or something, or the cool hats or whatever. But usually, and this is, by the way, it's something I've also had challenge with, is that just because you don't like scarcity and urgency the way other people are doing it, or the way it's even being taught, doesn't mean that the idea of scarcity and urgency has to go away. Also, what were you doing before? What were you doing before this?
I was freelance. I was a free mama. I was freelancing, but I just had my own clients.
You were freelancing social media because of the social media monkey course?
I did social media, but most of the women that I teach become virtual assistants. So I was essentially an online business manager without any sort of credentials is what I was doing. Mm-hmm. So I teach a lot, like people who come into my program, some of them, because they take their background. So whether it's in customer service, bookkeeping, graphic design, social media, admin, organization, like I have all the who's, by the way. So there will be my plug. Like if anybody needs anybody, I'm telling you, I've already met them. Like I've probably worked with them. So they do a lot of different things, I guess, to answer your question.
Yep. I love it.
I like your idea of like taking away an incentive instead of like, that's something I haven't really thought about.
Cool. Yeah. And so there's so many other things we could talk about. So but let's just like stick in your brain and we could even come back to it, or you could, I got it like 3 weeks from now and share it on Facebook, or we do another one. But that idea of some type of reason to buy today. And by the way, too, it could be like, look, the price. And by the way, if you don't do that, then especially for your niche, then call it out. I was just talking to Austin, like I know like half of the marketers are going to kill me right now, but say like, look, other marketers or other courses or other people are going to be like, oh, the price goes up, but tomorrow. I'm not going to do that. But I will say that every day that goes by is a day that blah, 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 blah. All right. So you could use, this is always like it's not generic. It's actually amazing. I love it, but it's that idea of like, ever looked at a protractor when somebody's like an angle or two off in the beginning, doesn't seem like a big deal, but over time, those two lines are greatly different. So you could just say that, and you could just call it out saying like, look, there's no incentive. There's no like fake thing. There's no like, this is going away. Like so if you are going to do that, then do it and leverage that, because most marketers are scared to say that and I would call it out. But one way
that's totally in alignment with how I talk anyway. I mean, these are women, they failed at network marketing. They've failed at blogging. They've already this is not their first time trying to work from home by the time they get to me. So that's very much in alignment with how I talk to them anyway.
Beautiful.
It's the other, right? Like it's not you, it's the other. Yeah. So that's beautiful.
Cool. And so let's go into the actual stats, and then also tell me about your value ladder. So is it straight $997 course?
Yep. So I'm pretty textbook perfect. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right.
Sure.
So I do have a lot more organic stuff now, but when I launched, it was straight up Facebook ad, 90-minute webinar, $997 offer. My OTO is actually group coaching, which is my continuity.
Yeah.
So it's $147 a month. I mean, I've got like 70 people in it most of the time, which is awesome.
How many people you have in it?
Typically around 70, give or take 2.
That's awesome. Jeez.
Yeah, it's awesome. It holds pretty steady. Every couple months someone will drop, but we're always adding new people. So it's great. And then after I had that up and going, we actually took out part of my course and turned it into a lower ticket item. So I have a $100 offer that's a quick start. And that's in my downsell email sequence. So they actually don't find that till they don't buy. I told you I'm textbook. You guys, if you're watching this right now, please just do what they tell you. Like, don't make it harder than it has to be. So in my downsell sequence. And then now I've got 2 freebies that I have now, because we've really been tapping into YouTube for organic traffic, which has been awesome. I've actually made 7 sales since January off of completely organic traffic from my YouTube channel. So that has been really cool. And then I wrote a book last year. So now I have my book. It's not free. I am going to do a free plus shipping funnel right now. It's just on Amazon. But I use it for like upsells and bumps and I've got that. So am I missing anything? It's pretty simple. I'm pretty simple. Liz, you will probably notice about the one thing. Stop looking away, the one thing. So I've stayed pretty true to that. Yep. I did do one-on-one coaching last year. It wasn't my jam because I have an insane relationship with time, a la Myron Golden. Like I'm really protective of my time. And the one-on-one, I started to feel stressed out. I got people boxing me. I got, it was too much. But in May, I'm going to be launching a new group coaching that's going to be like a 90-day incubator kind of thing. That'll be like $5K a pop, 20 people in it. So that I'm launching in May.
So that is awesome. So, we don't need to talk because you got all the idea. No, I mean, like seriously, usually the way to increase, if your conversion rates are already doing good, there's already like nothing wrong with the funnel, you just pop one of these high ticket things and it, 1 out of every 1,000 people buy it, and it totally trickles down to everything else, right? Okay. So that's it. And my suggestion was going to be, don't do a one-on-one thing, but do like do an inner circle thing. I like the idea of 90. I like the idea of like boot camping it a bit, giving people 90 days. And have you ever thought about doing a live event?
Yeah, I have announced I'm doing one in October. Wish me luck with that. I haven't started planning yet.
Okay, great. Well, now we have some easy wins then for you, because if you heard the last call.
I heard the end of it.
Cool. Okay, so the Martinos do this. Peng Joon does this. Lots of people do this in the space, that if you have a live event coming up, you won people at that live event.
Okay.
Because hopefully you're going to sell them something at that live event.
How do I pay for the event? Through the sales at the event or sponsorships?
You offer the live event for free when they get the course.
Okay.
And
So then how do I pay for the event? Through the sales at the event or sponsorships or both?
I wouldn't do sponsorships. I mean, you could do sponsors. I wouldn't view that as like, how can I get it paid for?
Cool.
But you do it a couple of ways. One, if your conversion rates go up, which it will if you're offering a free live event, so that's like free money. And then the other thing is you ask for a deposit. So if they want to go to the event, you just ask for $100, $200 refundable, fully refundable deposit. But this way, it allows you to know how big of an event to get, right, to the space, which is a fair question.
Totally.
And then what Stacy and Paul do is then on the next page they say, hey, do you want VIP for the event? If you do, great. No need to do anything else. We just won't refund you the $200. So it's really cool psychological because it's like the money's already spent. So to speak. Yeah. And then you could, so that's one way to do it. I just know that, again, this will only work though, or it wouldn't only work, but this makes the most sense when you are going to be selling at that event. So like if you have this 90-day thing or inner circle thing, whatever, at like 5K, then it would make sense in my mind, especially if you could scale it, fulfill it, like in a group setting, to get as many people at that event.
Right.
And so one way to do that is offer to piggyback the event onto the course so that it increases the conversion rate of the course. Yeah. And then this way, whether people go to the event or not, it still increases the conversion rate. And you offset that by saying, if you can't make the event, you can do it two ways. You could say the $200 is fully refundable, or it's the recordings of the event if you can't make it, or just say the recordings are included for free. But if you want to actually attend, whatever, there's different ways to do it. And because I have not run my own live event, I would just pick the brains of people who have inside the group. But that is hands down what I've seen a great way to do it.
Okay, cool.
Because your conversions just go through. Oh, by the way, if you want to use scarcity and urgency, like real scarcity and urgency, you could use the event as real scarcity and urgency. Because, right, like my guess is you're going to have a limited space and say, look, you could like your free ticket bonus, which by the way, it's crazy, right? Because it's like $9.97. You do your value stack. Okay, great. You get this mommy secrets, you get the free mama blueprint, you get whatever. It's great. But if one of the bonuses is an actual live event, like that is a substantial, does that make sense?
Totally.
So it just pushes people over, and you could say we have limited seatings. I'm giving, and you, again, this is all in your comfort zone, right? How you authentically feel about these wordings, but I'm going to give you some options here. Where I pre-purchased 100 tickets. Okay, the event's going to be, a couple hundred people, but I pre-purchased 100 of them, and I'm giving them out for the first, the next 100 people. Okay. Another way you could do it is that I don't know how big the event's going to be. I do know that I want people who invested in fast action takers, and so I'm giving it away for free, or I'm giving it away as included with your purchase of the course today. You get one ticket. Plus a substantial discount on additional tickets or something like that, because maybe they do want to bring their husband or hubby. But that idea of, or I'm trying something out that's crazy. I'm selling these events, but I want to guarantee that some people are going to be there, and so the first, the next so many people, or for this week only, you could. So when you talk about scarcity and urgency, you have scarcity and urgency in space and scarcity and urgency in time, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So space would be only 100 seats left. Time would be the next 72 hours, right? So there's different ways you could play it. It's got to resonate best to you, but that's awesome and super ambitious of you and super awesome of you. Okay, now let's dive into the stats.
Yes. Can I ask one question really quickly?
Yeah.
And you may be like, we just met, I can't answer this. So something that I was toying around with is the idea of, you know, you can sell it more if you repackage it differently kind of thing. So my people who opt in for group coaching, they get better results. They just do, right? They're working with me every week. So something I've thought about doing is like, so it's a true 12-week program. Like it's on a drip delay. It's a 12-week program. And what if I, you know, change it to 1497 or 1997 and include those first 3 months group coaching in that offer? Like, listen, you're going to get it. You're going to get the better. Is that making sense? So it's 3 months group coaching with the program, double the price of the program. And then once they graduate from the program, ascend them to the continuity.
That was going to be my next suggestion. I was going to ask you, have you ever just sold a year's worth? But 12 weeks is great. If it's a 12-week program, then it's as simple as $997 or $1997, right? Or whatever the thing is. And you could do it. You could do a payment plan. So you could say it's $997 for the self-study course. It's 2 payments of $997 for the self-study course plus group coaching throughout the entire 12 weeks of the course. At the end of those 12 weeks, they can choose to roll up. Yeah, I mean, this is something you just got to test it because you want to see if how much the conversion rate drops on.
Cool. Can I ask like a really technical, like a basic question?
Yeah.
So when you mean you're going to have to test this, do I leave my pretty little funnel that converts alone and create a separate offer and split the traffic to go to the second offer to test it?
Yeah. Let's look into your actual funnel.
Is that a dumb question?
No, not that. It's actually it's a great question because one, you're already acting as if like, okay, that's how we're going to do it, which is great. Not asking why it won't work, asking like, how can it work, which is awesome. And two, it is a little bit of a technical challenge sometimes to split test offers. Split testing copy, easy to do. Split testing offers when the price is different, it's a bit more challenging. So let's go into your funnel
Cool. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. Where are we going? Just stats? So, okay. So this is just a funnel. This just has the auto. And then I got a second one open that's got the actual order, course, sales page, affiliate, all that jazz. But this is the actual webinar portion.
Okay. Let's look at your registration page.
The page or the stats?
The stats.
Okay. Where you want to go?
As much data as possible.
Can I do like lifetime?
Yeah, or you can do a few months back. I'm just trying to see if that 36%.
No, that's probably high. Oh, well, not too high.
All right, so awesome. I mean, listen, it's auto webinar. 32% is awesome. It looks like you were split testing.
Presently.
Well, you declared go back to steps.
Oh, I don't know if she did or not. Oh, yeah. She turned it off. Sorry, I've got someone who does this. I'm like, I don't know. It's just my funnel. I don't know.
Okay, cool. So let's go into, I'm curious what the difference were in that split test.
So the absolutely fantastic, and now I'm blanking on her name, Keeley Richardson.
Yeah.
Did a Facebook Live with someone, and they used my landing page as an example, and my funnel designer saw it. So I went and watched it, and he loved the copy and the design, or he loved the design. He said the copy was crap. I'm like, I paid for that crappy copy, and it converts, by the way. But his great recommendation was that we didn't have testimonials on the opt-in page, so that's what she's been testing.
Gotcha. So is the one with the testimonials?
It did not outperform the other one.
Interesting. And this is the hypothesis, right?
This is the hypothesis.
The hypothesis was the more testimonials and social proof, the higher the opt-in, and possibly the hypothesis now is that causes more friction than more decision action taking?
So I actually already have one thing I do have that you don't see in this page. I have those little pop-up things, the like so-and-so just registered. So-and-so. So I already have that built in. So that was already there. But yeah, so the design difference though is that she added these written testimonials.
Okay. Now again, we could. Well, first off, how do you know? So Katie's like one of my favorite people ever. That's awesome that you know her. Are you in her group or coaching?
I am not, but I have done some affiliate stuff with Catherine Jones, who's one of her students, who is in Two Comma Club X also.
Yep. Very cool.
Awesome little ClickFunnels world.
And it's the best. I love this group. So Catherine Jones was the one that was on the call with Katie using your.
No, it was a gentleman. I didn't know him, so I apologize if he sees this and doesn't. I don't remember his name. I can show you the video, but no. But to bring this full circle, Catherine Jones trained the person who was a graduate of my program and then opted in through the affiliate to Catherine's, and now she works for me and does my funnels. So how's that for like?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I'm curious who that person was. So offline.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Let me know. And shout out to Katie Richardson. We love Katie and Ben.
Yes.
So a few things. One would be if you wanted to keep split testing the testimonials, I would have a picture of their face.
That's what she's going to do next.
Cool.
She's working on it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Would you like the freedom to work from home and spend more time with your family? Well, now I became a highly paid virtual administrative consultant in just a few hours a day, and how you can too. Cool. Another thing you could split test is the headline a bit. The one thing I would, and this is where split testing gets tedious and not very fun because you want to split test everything.
Tedious. I just want to make sure what we're doing is like, are we on the right track? You know what I mean? Like, are we doing this right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So here are some other ideas to split test, but only split test one thing at a time. Because if you split test also a headline change with a testimonial, you're not going to know which one was the, you know. And by the way, if you were doing like 20% opt-in rates, then I'd say, okay, radical redesign. Let's just like go with our gut and put all these like best practice thingies in. But you have a good opt-in rate, so we want to like, we're just trying to move the needle over.
Okay.
And right, so every week we get to decide. By the way, too, one of these days I'm going to do like a training on how we split test because we use a spreadsheet and Trello, and it's awesome. I know. It's been.
I love it.
Okay, let me talk. Let me see when I could do that. But
no pressure.
and it's pretty cool. What we do is all the ideas get queued up in a Trello checklist, and then that's like my responsibility. Just come with the ideas, and I screencast it and whatever. And then somebody on my team then moves the idea into a spreadsheet that we report on. And what we found was that even if like some of our funnels were spending a lot of money on traffic, so within a day we might know, or 2 days we'll know which one's converting better, whatever, especially if it's like an opt-in page, which is like the front of the funnel, so it gets all the traffic, we will still let it run exactly 1 week. And the reason for that is 3 reasons. One, every day, like just like A/B split testing, so every day you could get a different result. So Sunday is going to give a different result than a weekday, let's say. So it's good to hit every day, no matter what.
Okay.
The second reason is for us, it's consistency. So great, like who's responsible then of calling the winner or not? You check it was madness. So what we do is we queue it up. So we have our weekly, this is like Alex Sharfin stuff a little bit. We have our weekly review and a weekly planning for the next week and commitments. So on that call as a team, as a company, we, whoever's on our huddles looks at the results, and right there in the moment, we review it, and then we kill the loser and we redo the test right then and there. Because we already have it. Does that make sense?
Yes, this is like, honestly, this is gold to me. Because I'm just going to go, hey, Aaron, okay, here's our new strategy. Go ahead and relevant. Like,
cool, yeah.
Awesome. So do you do that? Do you touch every page of your funnel every week?
No. And then so usually we're just, you have certain goals, right? So our goal with us is we want to be profitable we're doing physical product type stuff. So our goal is to be profitable on that front end, and then everything else is free money essentially. So we're mainly focused on the the opt-in page and the checkout page.
Cool.
Once we feel satisfied with that, then we'll start split testing other things. Sometimes, here's the thing, if you do split test multiple pages in your funnel, there's always a chance, it doesn't happen too often, but if you're like want to get super scientific, that the page that got the best conversion rate to get them in got the worst. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
And I wouldn't overthink like crazy. If you get to those things, this is like if you're scaling like crazy and all this stuff, like then there's some software that tracks all the different combinations and things like Wicked Reports and other things. But for us, so like really just basically every week we're either getting a win or we kill it and then we get another shot. And so that's the idea, is that over time you keep moving the needle up. So some other ideas on this page, I would use a number. So learn how I became a highly paid virtual administrative consultant earning $538 a week in just a few hours a day. How you get to, or earning up to, does that make sense? A number.
Yes. Does Facebook get mad at that? Ads.
On the landing page?
Oh yeah, I've lost my ad account before because of stuff on my landing page.
What did you?
They don't like it when you say make money from home, it turns out. Yeah. So not surprising stuff, but I didn't know if that what like numbers were a trigger or anything, if you knew that.
Good question. So I think this is so anybody whose ad didn't get shut down doing this, so they're going to tell you no. And anybody's ad account that did get shut down, so maybe you're rolling the dice a little bit.
Cool. Okay.
But if there's some way to add a number, so
no, that's great.
So if you don't want that number to be there, then in just a few hours a day, in 2 hours a day.
Cool.
In 1 to 2 hours a day. So
cool.
I totally get that. I love that. And so this is amazing. So I use it as a specific example of how much money they're making, but the meta hypothesis is
that a number.
That's it.
I got it. Yep. No, I'm like, this is this is what I wanted. Yeah. This is so beautiful. I'm so
no, Lauren, you definitely are an experienced. I don't want to say experienced marketer. You're experienced. It's more than marketer, but you pick up on stuff very quickly. By the way,
thank you.
People tell you that, and most moms I know do because they're just. I mean, it's yes. So I'm just thinking about my own wife. Like I have so much respect for moms after having my own children. Yes,
that's awesome. I love moms. That's what I do. I'm the free mama. No, that is like cool. Do you have any other things like that? Like
scroll down. Scroll down a bit on this page.
Oh yeah. So another thing that we already
picture of you
test was she tested starts in 5 minutes versus starting at the top of the hour. I know is one that she did.
Yep. Do you have a picture of you?
Well, this is my family in the background, but that's it.
Okay, so I would split test a picture of you.
Just a picture, or like an about me, or both.
So this is awesome. Again, the high level hypothesis is a picture of you that like people see. Right now, your picture out of the entire everybody in this family, you're the one that I don't see, right?
Okay.
You're blurred out. And how you do that, you could be exclusive event hosted by the free mama Lauren Golden, a picture of you there, right?
Cool.
Or down below an about picture. But the bigger idea though is a picture, and then how you do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a better way, but the big bang, if it works, would be an actual just picture of you.
Cool.
Are you featured? Were you featured in any, that we could say as seen on, and add some?
Not anything to write. Not anything that's worth writing about that.
But here's the thing.
I mean, I could say number one international best-selling author, but that's not. I don't know if that's the right kind of credibility, but.
Any type of credibility that you feel comfortable with, I would do it. Remember, logos and symbols are powerful, even if the people don't know what the logo or symbol is. It's crazy. Cool. Let me show you.
I've actually never heard that said before, so that's really awesome.
Yeah, and so our products. This is one of our hot sauce making kit, right?
Cool. Yeah, you got to get that self promo in here. Come on.
Yeah, right. No, I'm doing it to show you, like. Make it better, family approved, like top shelf quality. But just this picture of a. So just give yourself.
Wait. Okay.
It carries so much weight, and this is stakes too. And I'm pretty aware of this because I live in Los Angeles, tea companies and stuff like that. The whole organic movement really conditioned people to like pay attention to like symbols and logos and kosher, labeling on foods, and now GMO. Now I'm sorry. Now what's the big one? Gluten free. There was never a like food items that never had gluten in it all of a sudden say gluten free with a symbol. It's like, what? And so symbols add weight. And the reason why I say that is when I asked you if you've been featured on places, you said like nothing to like write home about, but I don't know if you were on Mom.
I mean, I've got a lot of podcasts and stuff. Yeah, that's okay. I just always think like Forbes, Inc., ABC, NBC, that kind of stuff. But
maybe, but to a mom, maybe mommy related blogs and podcasts are actually resonate even more.
Okay. Cool.
So I would, again, we're talking about split tests and hypotheses.
Yeah.
Hypothesis, and that one would be,
that is like,
do symbols.
That right there is gold. That's like the strategy about how we need to approach optimizing. Like that's, I think that was a huge missing link for me. That was really helpful.
Cool. And when I do the training too, you'll see it, but when you do the spreadsheet, the columns are like the date that you make the change, a couple sentence, like one sentence or two of what the change is, so you quickly see it. The percentage change, like which one won out, right?
Okay.
And a URL to the funnel step, and so it'll take you right there. And then every time we switch it, right? Every week we choose a winner, and then we launch a new one. In the same moment. Yep. Everything else is queued up in the Trello card. We take a screenshot. Now we have ulterior motives because like maybe one day we'll sell that as a split testing like offer, but
you should. I'll buy it.
Sure, right? But it's great for you guys too, because after a couple of weeks of split testing, you're gonna want to. It's good to also see a visualization of it, and so we just take a screenshot of it and keep that in the spreadsheet. So we're out of time, but let's go into one more funnel thing because you're my last call for tonight.
Cool.
And,
you want to see a design or you want to see a stat?
I want to see the stats, and I actually want to see your, and I want to see your stats on the actual checkout page and stuff like that. And
so here's my old design, by the way. That was before I rebranded.
Love it.
Anyway, okay, so stats on this page. Are we going back to January?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's what I put the other one at. Oops. Hello. Okay. So I've got a lot of stuff in here clearly. So like this stuff's not even really going on, but I've got my order page, my sales page is all the way down here. So my OTO is.
Boom. Okay, let's go to that OTO. So
that's my group coaching.
Yep. So you could, if you keep it in this structure, you could do a split test on the OTO page.
Cool.
Where
you want to see the page?
Yeah, let's see the page.
I love this. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Okay, where am I going here? Hopefully I don't start talking here.
Hey, Katie Richardson at least was watching. And Akbar was the person that was looking at your funnel.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I'm like a gentleman that I don't know. How great is that? I remember I was at the gym and my funnel designer sent me a Voxer message. She's like, oh my gosh, you have to go watch this. So I'm like on the treadmill watching it. And he's like, your copy's crap. I'm like, what? Anyway, so he loved the design. It was awesome. So obviously you're not seeing the video, but this is the page. It's pretty simple.
Cool. So, but you have a great OTO on that. That's awesome. So what you could do because it's doing well and I don't want to you could just duplicate this page, right? And you'd have to change the video up a little bit.
Okay.
Or maybe not. I would have to watch it. We don't have time for me to watch the video, but you literally on this page, the only thing that's different is you still offer the $147 a month option. But there's this other option, get a year for whatever, $9.90, whatever it is, just make it a better deal for them to get the year.
So how do I do that with products inside a split test?
Yep. So on split test, so in the back end of ClickFunnels,
So it's possible. You don't have to walk me through it. It's
yeah,
possible.
yeah. All you're doing is
just, I'm sorry.
let's go to the back. Let's go to ClickFunnels. Let's go to the back end of ClickFunnels. Go to products, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna create another product called one payment of whatever, right?
Okay.
Or it's you could do a subscription. You could just do it on a yearly basis, right? However, or I'm sorry, you wanted to do it. No, I'm sorry, you wanted to do it that it's 12 weeks, right? I love it, right? You said 12 weeks, right?
Well, so my idea was that it wasn't. It's not an OTO, but that it's part of the initial buy.
Yeah, and so doing that, would you have an order bump?
I do.
Okay, what's your order bump?
It's awesome. This is so good. I don't know how I got so lucky to have such an amazing business. Seriously, I love this. So my bump, because I built my program on the same delay that I release it, because I hadn't built it yet before I sold it, because, you know, that's what we do, I guess. So anyway, so I hadn't built it. So then once I had it built, I had a couple moms being like, you know what, I'm on maternity leave, or I just lost my job, or I'm a stay-at-home mom. Can I move faster? So for a $97 bump, they get instant access to the whole program, and it includes 3 additional trainings.
Oh, that's a sexy order bump.
It is sexy, and it converts really well.
Yeah, so I don't want to change it. So that's the thing. I know what you want to do, and I want you to do it. And I know it's not going to be the easiest to execute on, and you're going to have to like rework a bunch of stuff, and we don't even know if it's going to work or not. So what I would recommend doing initially is creating in the OTO1 offering it. So you create another product called 12-week pay in full or whatever, right?
Okay.
And what would 12 weeks is 3 months, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 497 or something.
Right?
At 147, it ends up being like 497. That's for 12 weeks. Sorry, not for a year. What were you asking?
Well, 147 times 3 is a little less than 450, right?
Sure.
So and that's the amount of money they would spend on if they did it for 12 weeks.
Correct.
So and the average person. So this is actually what you need. You need to find out what your average churn rate is.
Okay. I don't know that, but my VA could tell me that ASAP.
Yes. So we want that number.
Okay.
And then ideally, we want to beat that number, right? Okay. So if the average person stays on for 5 months before canceling,
okay,
then we want the average person to stay on for 6 months without canceling.
So that's the split test offer?
Yeah, except I do like your idea of the 12 week. So get coaching during. I would need to see your video, and we're really over time.
I'll schedule another one.
Okay, but here's the thing. This is I would to just like the quickest, easiest, most general thing to do is on one of these pages, keep it exactly the same on the OTO1.
Okay.
On the second page, offer an OTO1 and a like a yes link. You know what I'm talking about? Like a 2 products. So one page offers the one product, which is $147 a month subscription indefinitely. And the other page offers that $147 a month subscription, or when they buy a year, they get 2 months for free. So 10 times 147. So it's 1,147. So they save 20% or 2 months free, and maybe some other bonus or something like that.
And you're saying that I can add it in here, and somewhere in here, it's going to let me have
2 buttons. Yep. Yep.
Okay,
so basically how you do it is you create the product in the funnel step, but when it comes to the funnel pages that you're split testing, does that make sense? We have funnel steps.
You're going to assign the button?
Exactly. You just hide the button, or you just don't even make the button, but essentially that's it.
Cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
The other way you could do it is don't give them a choice. Say it's a year or 12 weeks or something.
Okay.
And then this is a sneaky thing. It's a button. And then underneath the button, also give them an option to say no thank you. When they click no thank you, instead of going to a downsell, pop-up with the $147 a month. So this way you're stacking where their focus is at, and you're starting. You probably, I talk about that.
I'm geeking out so hard right now.
Yeah. This is really fun. You know your stuff, and so just keep going. You've found incredible mentors, so like Liz and Katie, to a lesser degree myself, I guess. But
this is awesome. Don't downplay your value at all.
but this is also, you're on the right track. But again, your original outcome was, how do you break the 6 figures? It's not so much what you're doing in the funnel, like the stats. We talked about it. We talked split testing a little bit on the front end. It's offering a whopper of a inner circle or some type of higher end thing.
Adding the value ladder. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because what that does is it allows you then to keep scaling, and all scaling is like, I'm filtering out. I'm willing to pay to find my higher end people.
Yeah.
You know, and then also increasing your average lifetime value, let's say, of your continuity. So one way is to just force them to get a year, or encourage them, at least give them the opportunity, or a 12 weeks thing or something like that. And then the other thing is to be very mindful when people drop off. So another thing, once you have that, so just come back to me and tell me what your churn rate, what's the average churn is. If you see that people are dropping off around month 5, on month 4, you either mail them something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right?
Yep.
You either give them acknowledgement, and you give them a t-shirt that says 4-monther or something like that. You make them feel so guilty. That's like, well, I was going to cancel, but she just sent me this swag in this book. I'm like, okay. Or you open loop them and you say, and remember, if this is dripped content, it's different. So I'm sure you're doing your live coaching, but maybe you have some drip sequence as well, that on month 4, they get some personal Facebook message video from you, or Facebook message voice saying like, hey, it's Lauren. Just want to let you know you're kicking butt. Like, you probably don't think I'm watching, but I am. And I love that you're here. And I just want to thank you for being so awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Remember, not everybody's going to cancel, going to stay after that, but basically, like 2 weeks before you see the average cutoff, and then you measure. You just don't do it. You track it and say, in 3 months from now,
make a difference.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for going along with me. I had an awesome time.
Me too, and congratulations. And connect with.
I already Facebook friend them. I hope they don't think that's weird.
No, not at all. But I'm telling you called it. You called it like yourself. Like, we're in this group for leveraged relationships, to build our network, to help, support, contribute, and grow together. So that's it.
That's awesome. Thank you. Have an awesome night.
Did I get an applaudable? Did I get a standing applaudable?
Oh, yes. A very enthusiastic one.
Thank you. All right, Lauren.
Very cool. Bye.
Take care. See ya. All right, kids. And that concludes what I felt good about that one. That was a really good applaudable day filled with applaudables. That was awesome. So the good news is we get to do it all over again tomorrow, and same Batman time, same Batman channel. Most likely I'll be wearing the same t-shirt, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.